Hello. Are we on? Yes. Greetings, everybody. We are going to be doing a little live play crash course of Blades in the Dark tonight. I have some lovely players here who have decided to put their fate of the evening in my hands, which is the most foolish concept of all. And I am not one for much pomp or circumstance, so let's get right into meeting our players. Everyone's got their character names up, so we're going to go in alphabetical order. Ammet.
Hello, I'm Cherny. I am portraying Ammet or Amulet Hood, and their pronouns are they, them. My pronouns are they, he, and she, and it's wonderful to be here at Records of the Realms.
Sorry, Ezra. I figured alphabetical would take care of itself, but...
Sorry, I'm dyslexic, so it gets hard.
That's fair.
But hi, I'm Cece. Tonight I will be portraying Ezra Monroe Stillings. My character's pronouns are she, they, and my pronouns are they, them, and I am so excited.
Hi,
Please.
I'm Jocelyn. I am playing Hazel Archambeau. Her pronouns are she, her. My pronouns are they, she. Y'all get to see my face every Sunday, so y'all are just getting to see my face again.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I go by she, her pronouns. The character I'll be playing is the one and only Ilese Barnum, who also has she, her pronouns. And I am honored to be returning to Record of the Realms for a second time.
I am Apollo, pronouns he, him. I'm playing Lloyd tonight, also pronouns he, him. My first time on the Record of the Realms, but I'm usually on Twitch here building Lego sets. So that's where you can find me at Apollo Vera on Twitch here.
And I am Griffin S. I am the game master for the evening, and you can find me at Griffin_ESS on most social medias, where I do illustration and other random nonsense. Now, the Blades in the Dark universe has its own sort of core lore to it, which I'm stripping most of it away, but the main aspects will remain. This is a very industrial world with a ghost problem. Magic isn't so much the thing as spectral energy, which sometimes comes in the form of technology, sometimes in something more spiritualistic. So there is a sense of occult more so than arcane. The locale that we will be in is one of my own invention. This is the province of Whale, named for the sake of a spirit whale that floats off of the shore and is constantly howling into the distance. But the people here have learned to accommodate to it. They have some sound dampening foliage that they have grown into certain patterns to try to absorb the sound waves to keep people from being too traumatized by the spirit. But that spirit is not what's the problem today. At the moment, the governor of the area, of the province, Albert Purslock, he's hosting a hunt. Now, for quite some time, there has been a series of attacks by some sort of beast, some sort of monstrosity. Some people have depicted this as a large wolf, some as big as a bear. All note different grotesquities and malformalities that have been visible in this creature, should they have been lucky enough or unlucky enough to survive. Now, for the most part, the governor has cared very little about all of this. It hasn't been his problem until someone he cared about came under attack. And now he's decided it's worth putting a lot of money towards hiring hunters, but he doesn't want to pay the individual hunters, because that would be a very pricey endeavor, and how do you know you're going to get the quality that you pay for, especially if you're a rich prick who everyone already dislikes, trying to hire people who don't respect you? Well, simple. You make them compete with each other for a single prize. That way you're trying to get the most out of them, feeding off of their very culturalistic and skill-based competitive nature. So he is hosting a hunt event and challenging all of these would-be hunters to slay this beast and bring back the hide or some skull or proof of kill. And there is a large cash prize that is on the table for those winners. Now, what kind of cash has been a little vague, because in this realm, coin is a very specific thing. But there is currency of all shapes and sizes that make its way through different levels of the world and underworld. So what the treasure is still being speculated by most. But the important thing is that it's supposed to be a significant amount, regardless of its shape or size. Now, our party here, colloquially known, probably unbeknownst to them, as the Honey Wasps, they have been tasked with one of their regular fixers/fencers, a Leslie Jones, who operates out of her uncle's meadery / collector emporium. I forgot what this is specifically called, but he has a little collection of objects. He's very obsessed with collecting and obtaining things of not quite value, but just interestingness, uniqueness, curiosity. But he also likes to make mead, and that is the primary form of the business, and that is a good cover for a fence who needs to ship out casks and make multiple transactions on a regular basis. Now, she has asked our little guild, not our guild, our crew here, to take a crack at getting their hands on the treasure, bringing it back, and basically making it a 6-way split for sourcing information necessary to pull off the heist, such as floor plans for the building, the rotations of the guards, their habits and patterns, their weaponry, and so on and so forth. So there is a collection of information that they will be able to make use of or flash back to, and we'll figure out how this all works. Now, this is a very unique style of game compared to a lot of what gets played on this channel. This is one of the few games where I, as the game master, have almost no true control. I will roll maybe 2 sets of dice the entire game. The players choose what skill they're using and why. They will choose how they want to go about anything. My job is to keep the world moving, react to what they're doing, and make sure to mitigate or declare outcomes as needed. But for the most part, I'm following their lead. The most apt description I've heard of this specific system is for the DM, it is like being in the trunk of a car that the players are driving stolen. And hopefully we will live up to that in our showcase for you this evening. So, folks, you have been given your task. You know what's on the table. You are in the basement of the meadery. Tell me, I brought you here for this job. I know not everyone has the privilege of dealing with Leslie directly, but you're lucky enough. You've done good work for me in the past. What do you need to know? I don't want to overload you with unnecessary information. So each of you, 2 questions quickly to just pin down some things that you will know you will need, and then we'll send you off.
Do you want any character descriptions or anything, Griffin, or to just jump right into it?
When we go into media res so we're going to go from this discussion directly into the action, at which point then you will highlight those moments.
Appreciate you. First question I would have is, who's in charge of the estate when he is not in?
So that is split between 2 people. His son thinks he's in charge, so he gets a lot of sway. He will spend a lot of his time shouting orders. People will pretend to follow them. He makes a big fuss. The guards will follow his direction a little bit more specifically, but the servants and the hunters will probably dismiss him. But he will be an active and noisy presence. There is also Rita, who handles the beasts on the property, including the hunt beast, and she is probably more of the authority that you will need to worry about.
My second question is, is there any area that even the guards are not aware of?
Ooh, I don't know if they're not aware of it. There are definitely 3 different hidden rooms. They are the ones that I have marked off as the most likely places for the treasure to be hidden. There is a good chance that the guards are unaware of at least one of them, and that they might have false guards in front of the actual location, or maybe they have that place unguarded and there's false guards in front of a trap location. There's been some rumors, but unfortunately that was not anything we could verify. There's also potentially a chance, if he's smart, which he's not, but he may have hired someone smart, that there's sort of a shell game happening with those 3 rooms.
I was going to say, I know he's not smart. We can't give him that credit. Those are my questions, darling. Thank you.
Has he hired any new staff because of this?
there isn't specific new staff, but he has hired some of the actual, like, leaders of different hunting lodges to make sure that they maintain some sort of order. He was a bit concerned of having a bunch of free-roaming hunters that they might just decide to have at it with each other instead of taking care of the job. Some of them might get a little bit too comfortable on his estate, so there is a little bit of oversight, but it's not exactly employees, more so as people being paid a little bit to make themselves assert the authority they have.
Do we know of any massive movements of any of his property recently since the hunters are coming in?
Interesting. There were a lot of the servants were working double shifts for a few nights in preparation. At first, we thought it was in preparation of like food and resources and supplies, but there has been some talk of a lot of packaging and stowing away things that might have been of more value that were on display on the estate, and that they might be have been tucked away for the time being, just to keep anyone from being a little bit too handsy with it.
Well, duly noted, Lloyd. There's our stash. That's where he'll keep the art.
Who's next? Going once. Oh,
I
yes.
can't think of anything. That's all I was going to say.
And that's fair. Options for the last two?
Where has the feed for the hounds been coming from?
So off of the seaside where the whale has been doing its normal lamentations, there has been some successful fishing that has gone on, and a lot of the fish heads, tails, and raw bits that aren't being used to feed the hunters are going to feed the beasts and the animals of burden that are being used to truck gear in and out.
Well,
Not all
that...
dogs.
Nope.
Go for it.
Not all dogs are fond of fish.
Ilese might have something for that.
My question was, I know the grounds, of course, are going to be the most popular, but what of the roof? Is anybody paying attention up there?
There has been less attention seemingly placed on securing the roof, given that most of what's happening in that region is going to be a ground game. There is on two of the forest-facing corners, there are lookouts just to see in case anything intense happens. There are signal flares that are ready to be used in case any of the parties get injured, should they encounter the beast and need backup. So there will be a little bit of watch for that, but they're definitely watching the far distance and not the close areas. Final questions? Going once? Would anyone else like to adopt a question that has not been asked?
Has anyone died recently? Outside of
many people.
But there's no
Fair
enough to choose from. Good. It means we have options.
I will adopt a question if you have some that.
Oh, more so handing your open question off to one of the other players who might still have some.
No.
Yes.
I didn't know what you meant. I thought you had questions to be adopted.
How about you tell us everything now?
Can you just tell us everything? All right, Sharon, I think
What
Ammet
was
has
the
something.
what was
Yes.
the oldest delivery to arrive at the house? Things that get delivered often, like coal or firewood or food. What's the one that's coming up next? Or what's been delivered recently that we can use process of elimination?
So, aside from a stockpile of weapons, arrows, and traps that the hunters had sort of requested, the normal types of deliveries that are coming and going, a few crates of the governor's preferred wine, some of the fancier foods from the city itself, and a little bit of exchange from the more provincial supplies going out. It has been a lot of indulgences for the most part. The governor's property itself doesn't seem to handle a lot of items of import that don't feed his specific ego.
Well, that's not a shock.
Hmm.
Can I tell you, the man is also one of the most boring men I've ever met in my life. And it's why I will never do that work myself again. If anyone needs to talk to him, I will send someone else.
I wouldn't suggest the last one you sent to my house.
I don't know, maybe the two of you could speak about croquet for 3 hours, his favorite subject. No, I do not care about the angle you hit it at, Albert.
Okay, so in terms of approach, this is no longer in character. This is me as the DM again.
Mhm.
So aside from your individual approaches, which we will go into momentarily, as a group, do you have a general way you want to approach this? There's assault, if you want to go loud and fast. Deception, if you're playing a little bit more social engineering. Stealth, if you're just trying to stick to the gaps in security, move in and out. Occult, obviously, if you want to manipulate the spiritual energies or the ghosts themselves to try to make things work. Social, if you are just charming your way in more than lying your way in. And transport, if you're trying to smuggle yourselves in and out through other means. That is the general team approach. That doesn't change how each of you will be applying towards it.
I do feel that deception fits for all of us in our own ways. We got Ilese, who can come in as a hunter competing. I can come in as a social figure who can meet people. I have a really good cover story for that. I think all of us can use deception in some way or another as a group effect, but I'm willing to hear other, I don't want to just take over, if anyone else has a different idea.
The two that I was leaning towards was deception and sneak, so I think deception could work.
It
Me
sounds
too.
like you are all in consensus, or at least the majority. 3 out of 5 solidly.
We got a thumbs up from Cherny.
All right. So you're going with deception. You're all finding yourselves peppered around the area. You've spent the past 5 hours working your ways into specific positions, trying to get into the situations you want to be in when whatever you planned on causing for distraction goes off. Alphabetically again, let's go down the list. Introduce your character. Tell us where you are, what you're doing on these grounds. Tell us what your goal is and what you're hoping to do that helps everyone else do what they're doing. If you are stumped or get stuck, feel free to put a hand on your nose and it will pass to the next person and we can circle back to you as a last resort. We'll do 1 round and then 1 follow-up just in case anyone has anything to add in response. Ammet.
Ammet is positioned in a place of being either a footman or an additional help from the kitchen, some kind of lowly servant's position that's often given to young folk. Something that's going to allow Ammet to kind of move from room to room without being noticed by sense of station.
Fantastic. And a description of yourself and how you've tried to use that to blend in or suppressed it to blend in.
Generally speaking, Ammet's visage is bright red with a shade of black around the edges, their skin shimmering slightly with light sparkles like freckles that almost appear to be as live embers floating up from a roaring fire. It continues down to their skin on their hands, though usually their clothing is very occlusive. They are often seen with a hood, though now it has been changed out for an oversized cap to fit between their horns and pull back around the back of their head, kind of like an applejack. They wear a long, darkened linen shirt with a very worse for wear dark vest and the best pants that they have, which are definitely not suitable for this household, but it's what they have. and well-worn at the heel black boots. They are very small and slender, with an almost wispish figure, seeming to almost slip between barely open doors and door jambs as they move from room to room in the house.
Wonderful. Ezra.
I am stumped on what my position would be.
Acceptable. We can catch that on the second pass.
Okay.
Oh, so, okay. Do you want to skip entirely?
Oh, I can still provide a description.
Yes, do that. And at least what your cover idea is, if not location.
Okay. So Ezra is an average height, feminine presenting person. She is very, very pale. If you did not know her, you would think she is sick. She has very long white hair with some streaks of blue at the top. She is seen wearing an eye patch covering her left eye, and the eye patch has a golden eye embroidered onto it. She wears a simple red blouse, black and gold corset, and long flowing pants that you would think were a skirt, but, with some black boots. And then on her belt, she has a few like baubles, some little vials, as well as a little holster for a deck of cards. And she is seen wearing a necklace that has a little seeing glass on the end, and is wearing black leather gloves.
And if not location, what is the pretense that you have entered yourself into this environment with?
My idea is that Ezra was summoned there to help predict the way that this hunt would go, tracking this mystic beast from a safe distance, because she's not going into those woods. So she wouldn't necessarily have like a covered name. She would be entering as themselves.
Wonderful. For the moment, until a better idea presents, I will say that you are by a few of the hunt masters who are kind of like keeping track of which groups are where, acting as a standby point of information should they need it at that time. They will give you the ability to sort of direct their attention should you need to.
Yes.
Hazel, I believe.
Yes, that is me. You never thought you would hear the words Irene Adler and Moriarty meets Mary Poppins, but if anything could describe Hazel Archambeau, it would be the constant calculator behind the eyes, whirring away with numbers and ideas, only hidden by the visage of a woman who has everything all together and figured out. Hazel is a human, though she claims she's got elven heritage. Claims. And will only wear the best of the best, even when her boots are now caked with mud from traipsing up to this godforsaken manor with this godforsaken man. But she keeps it cool, because that's what she does. People don't know her, except for this little group, as Hazel Archambeau. People know her in society as Pearl Bronte, a lover of art and various luxuries, reflected in her wardrobe, with a beautiful silk blouse with a tie, a string of pearls clasped tightly around her neck, and large drop pearl earrings. Her hair is dark and curly, but put in a large bun at the top of her head, and a fascinator, perfect for a day out at the hunts, sits on her head like a Cyrano de Bergerac plume, were he confident enough to tell Roxanne that, yes, I wrote the letters, they can fuck off. She also wears a black pencil skirt, lace black gloves, and is in fact wearing heels, because of course she is. Why would I not? She is specifically approaching Albert's son. I am here to get myself in his good graces. I believe I have met Albert's son before. I'm willing to do a flashback at some point of that if we want to. But I think we've met in the artistic circuit when we bid on very overpriced antiques. I think I have tried to coax to his ego that, yes, you are as good as your father, darling. No, they just don't see it yet. And my goal is to ply him with both flattery and alcohol to get what I want.
I'm going to need you to roll me a fortune roll. It's at least one die. Do you have a specific trait that you are using to try to coax his recall and steer it one way or the other?
I am going to say that consort.
Perfect.
And that is 3 dice automatically. Are there any additional I need to roll?
There are not, and it looks like it'll be very straightforward.
Okay. My highest is a 5.
Fantastic. So, he does remember you. He is pleased to see you. His partner, who is hovering right off his elbow,
Rita!
has locked in. Oh, no, this is not Rita. This is his fiancée, as far as she's concerned, though you are well aware that he has made no such proposal.
No, they're not engaged, darling. You don't have a rock on your hand.
Elena is there and just daggers distrust, but not for the reasons that she should distrust you, for the ones that you are hoping to manipulate as you go forward.
Oh, 100%. I want this woman to be completely jealous of me. First of all, I'm stunning. Secondly, honey, if you do not have a large diamond on your hand, and that little pity ring on your finger you put yourself is not enough. And that is definitely cubic zirconia. Economical, but not what you're looking for.
Fantastic. Lloyd. No, I'm sorry. Elise.
Hi. Now, Elise, known to society, is in fact a fox hunter. So she probably did get an invite to this particular event, which she is going full out on this. She has her nice purple equestrian outfit on with the top hat to match. She is a high elf, so she's got the pointy ears. She's got these lovely earrings on, which probably are not good for this situation, but she's gonna wear them anyway, dang it.
Thank you, I gave those to you very specifically.
I appreciate it, dearie. You also
I have the better taste.
Okay. You also notice that on her belt, she's got a chain there that has one of Ezra's baubles on there. And I think for this particular heist, because she is known as a fox hunter when she's not running her shop with all her trophies, she just has to be the distraction on this one. She's going to have to play the game, get as much information as she can, and anytime Hazel or Ezra or Ammet or Lloyd come by her, she's just going to give what she knows, and if something goes wrong, she'll be the one telling the group, we gotta go.
Fantastic. So you are out on the field, or are you hanging out near Ezra in the sort of directing phase at the moment? Like, where are you currently placed?
I think I'm hanging behind. I want to be one of the last groups to be released. I kind of want to play up the, okay, here I go. We're about to start. Oh, look, a distraction all of a sudden.
No. Go ahead.
It's okay. I'll be here.
I feel faint. Give me a moment.
No.
Fantastic. Lloyd.
Lloyd is literally known as Lloyd. There is no if, ands, or buts about it. He is Lloyd. Lloyd is an average-built man, or at least looks average-built. He wears baggy enough clothes that people underestimate him, things like that. Today, though, he's playing a bit of a bartender. He talked the old man out of giving him, or he paid for, a jug of mead and things like that, and got to the grounds a little earlier than everyone else and set up a little stand to make a little extra coin and to loosen lips a little bit and everything like that by serving mead and the other alcohols that the governor or the whatever.
Yes, a person.
Yeah. Penny pincher here wants to give off his alcohol and things like that. And so he's been working the crowd most of the day, trying to loosen lips, maybe dull their senses a little bit if he wants to and things like that, gather information. and things like that, as he very much just sits there and gladly acts like he's drinking while giving the other hunters and everything like that the joys and spirit and liquid courage they may need to go after this fantastical beast.
Fantastic. Do me a favor and roll me a quick. Actually, you tell me the skill that you want to use to apply this general social blanketing of the area.
Oh, very, very much survey. So that'd be 3 dice for me, unless I'm adding anything for the fortune.
Nope, you're very much in a
Oh
control.
no,
situation.
very much. I got there early so I could survey the grounds and everything like that. Pick at the right spot to set up to see where I get most of the people, most of the hunters before they take off. Would you like a cup of mead for your adventures? Keep you warm on this crisp morning. That is 2 6s.
That is a critical success. You are starting off on a great foot. As a result, not only are you essentially not invisible, but pleasantly disregarded, which is almost better. Like, people are happy when you approach, but they're happier when you walk away because they know they can, like, it gives them time to do a thing. You're not their concern. They don't want to get caught up in too much of the small talk with you, but they do find you pleasant, and they know they might. So, like, whenever you move on, they're just sort of like, relax. Nobody's trying to police your behavior. Good job. Now, all that being said, as you are all sort of taking in your moments before we go on the next round, I am going to just put in a small complication here. So as a result of the hunts has been a little bit, the early phases has been a bit unfruitful. Like, people are hunting foxes, wolves, other pheasants. They're kind of just warming themselves up, knowing that it's still midday and the beast mostly has been known to strike at night. So there's a little bit of showboating, a little bit of bravado, and a little bit of competition going on. Now, that being said, the alcohol is flowing.
Yeah, it is.
The bets are being placed on different fighters, like playing target practice. Some of them are having direct tests of strength or agility against each other. Some are just, like, racing through the woods trying to come back with a catch of some kind as quickly as possible. All these small challenges being posed between these groups of hunters who don't typically end up in the same place. This is a very rare event for these people. But that being said, aside from those aspects, there is the concern that 2 of you have vices that it might be very easy to get distracted by the drinking and the gambling. Ezra, as bottle upon bottle of mead keeps making their way into the tent where you are trying to do this sort of quiet observation while people are kind of plotting out, playing board game style, like moving little tokens around, like this people will be in this area and where you know they're hunting over here. There is plenty of liquor that is being passed around, and often, while you are not on a specific offer, there is sort of a general, like, anyone over here want anything? That keeps happening as people end up more in the cup and become more magnanimous about it. And less than 20 feet away from you folks, there are a number of nobles, actually where, I apologize, Hazel is located. A number of the people around you are, well, that savage-looking one is very, very imposing. I think they might take this. I'll bet you 2 weeks of harvest against my my great turnout for the next wine bottlings. And, like, bets are being thrown. So, I'm gonna need at least some sort of skill response against this from Ilese and Ezra, regarding the gambling and the alcohol. But given the situation, you are putting yourselves in a bit of stress. So success would be potentially a small amount of stress, which is already a bad foot to start off of. But should you succeed well enough, maybe you can forego it. Now you tell me which skill and yours that you want to apply against this, or if you just want to attempt to resist. I see we have a hand up, 2 hands up.
My first question is, can I assist Ezra in maybe not trying to drink, since I've been handling the alcohol?
You can. Hold on, there we go. So here's the thing. This is because we're basically putting stress as the failure state of these tests. If you do assist, you are volunteering to take a stress. I don't know if that's worth the gamble.
That's fair.
So to resist, is it just like 1d6 or?
If you want to just leave it as a fortune roll, yes. If you have a specific skill you want to use to try to distract yourself or like keep yourself occupied.
I guess because consort is talking with people, right?
Yes.
I guess I'm going to try and go over and talk to the people who are not drinking and try to engage myself in conversation and distract myself.
Have at.
Yeah. So that's okay. 1-6.
Fantastic. You succeed with no issue at all. Elise, somebody turns to you and offers to, they see a piece of jewelry on you that they're like, that is lovely. I will bet my pendant against that person out sharpshoots that person. You know this stuff. You have to have an assessment. I'm sure you know who. I'll let you pick. You pick which one you prefer.
Oh yes, dearie. So I think I want to use finesse on this one. And I got internet connection halfway through there. So could you repeat what that bet was?
So they started trying to offer where they were going to pick who they wanted, but then they were like, actually, you're a hunter. I'll give you the advantage on the first round. Like, you tell me who you think will do better. As the professional and all. Uh-oh. I think they're...
I think we lost Sarah.
I think we got a frozen Elise. No!
Oh no!
Well, technical difficulties.
And they all rolled over, and one fell out. Actually, it's possible the entire stream crashed.
I still have the
I'm
stream.
seeing it.
I see it.
Mine is not. My watch is not moving at the moment, so that is interesting.
Yeah, it's moving. I will say. Apparently, Elise didn't like the bargain. I'll be back soon. Oh, by the way, what is Albert's son's name? So I just don't call him Albert's son, please.
Caleb.
You
Caleb.
don't care
Caleb.
enough to know his name.
You don't care. I care to know his name for the sake of getting this job done. It is a reluctant knowing of this buffoon's name.
Oh.
Nobody takes him seriously.
Also, I have a little tidbit that I'd like to add on, regardless of the outcome of Elise's check there. I have a little tidbit that I'd like to add in to the end there when we get Elise back.
Noted.
If I can be in the right place at the right time.
Elise!
Here's potential.
Welcome back!
Welcome back. Meanwhile, Ezra's trying to kill a fly.
Dude, it is taunting me at this point. It's sitting on top of my monitor right now.
Live, everybody.
Beautiful.
Okay, so, Elise, your skill that you were going to use to try to either stack the bet or resist it. Uh-oh.
No!
I
It is
am
not-
going to.
Oh, there we go.
I think I'm gonna use finesse on this one.
Right.
And you resist a good game.
You have gone Terminator.
I'm going to try to see if I can. I'm going to. So that would be the case.
Oh, this might be a bit untenable at the moment. And you're frozen again, so I don't even know if I can ask directly and get an answer. Nope. Okay. So.
Love it. Is
For
it a
now,
full moon
we're...
tonight?
Alright. You are all in your positions. One of you has already resisted some temptation. Well done. And not taken any stress as a result. Fantastic. That being said... Hello?
Hey, they're moving better.
I'm suddenly
Oh.
the problem child. I apologize.
We love you anyways.
We do.
Did you roll, and if so, what did you get?
I did not roll yet. Let's do that now.
Okay. And I did get the gist that you're using finesse. We can outline on what based on the success or failure, just so we can get it out of the way.
I got a 5.
5. Fantastic. So you do succeed with a small complication. Tell me what you were going for.
So I did go ahead and go for the bet. I did put my money on somebody that I usually know is going to do well.
Fantastic. So I will say that you have profited. You now have a new piece of jewelry, a pendant, cameo style, something of an heirloom for that family. But you are going to be a bit distracted as now the bug has bitten, and you are going to get caught up a little bit in like an ongoing tit-for-tat participation in this gambling. But Ammet has something here that might knock you loose.
You finish up your business with the other hunter that you were betting with, and you feel a telltale tug at your left elbow on your sleeve. And as you turn around, you see the very obvious red face of Ammet looking up at you.
I think Ilese is not going to say anything to Ammet, but she knows what this means, so she's going to turn to her hunter and say, well, it has been an absolute pleasure. I will keep this safe. And I think I have a game to attend to, so if you'll excuse me.
I will note that there will be a lingering, should gambling reassert itself in this game, you are going to have a slightly higher resistance or issue with resisting it again.
Okay.
Ammet?
Once you extricate yourself from that interaction, Ammet sort of looks away from you shyly and opens up their hand and holds it up to you. And in their palm, you see a small pewter pendant that is simply carved, but holds an amber piece in the center.
Ilese is going to take it.
If you bet again, you bet with that first.
As you wish.
Oh, ominous. Do I want to know what this is, or should I leave it off the table so it's a better surprise later when it comes up? Your call.
Anyone can ask any questions they wish, and I will answer them fully.
Then I, as DM, am going to say we're going to hold off on this and let a reveal happen later, because I will now make sure this comes up.
Yay!
Cool. All right. I think Lloyd... No, this was the thing. So, one more round of if anyone has any repositioning or any priorities of how you're planning on getting from your current position towards the goal. Now is the time to start thinking in those terms. Ammet, you're up first if you are ready. You can defer to go last if you are not.
I would like to go last, please.
Ezra.
Can I do a flashback?
You can call for a flashback at any time, yes.
I would like to call a flashback. I would like to set up, especially since we're getting around the time where the beast is showing up, some kind of skirmish or challenge of muscle to happen to help distract people on the grounds who aren't doing the actual hunting, to make it easier for us to get in. Like set it up with some of the local folks to come in and do a skirmish, or have one of the hunters that is known in this town to do a skirmish or something like that to cause a distraction to help us maneuver into the closer to the goal when the time is right.
Okay. That is a zero stress action, because stuff like that is already happening. You're just kind of timing one or creating one that you can control when it goes off. So
yes,
we'll leave that sitting. And when it is time, you will get an extra D6 roll up to spend at your convenience for that distraction.
Fantastic.
Or to give to a teammate. I will allow that also, obviously.
Fair.
Wonderful. Ezra.
Do we know if Caleb?
Yes.
Do we know what he's going to be doing during the hunt?
I will say you do. There is the expectation of him is that he should be there to sort of like be a forward-facing presence. He should be preparing to like be the face of this province at some point in the future. But the staff itself has been well made aware, excuse me, that he is likely to sneak away with his betrothed, quotey fingers, for a little bit of a premarital consummation.
Okay, because I had an idea if he was going to not be doing that. I mean, maybe it could still work.
You're welcome to still put it on the table and see if you can stop or take care of it before he has snuck off for that.
Yeah, so I feel like before he snuck off, I sort of sauntered up to his not fiance and offered to give a little glimpse of the future and sort of lead with the fact that, like, yes, he's going to propose soon. However, he's very forgetful, and you need to remind him of this in order for her to annoy him all night. Keep him occupied.
I love that.
And I can be there to distract Caleb while you do that, 100%. Because I'm already there right now. I'm hanging out with those two. So I am happy to get Caleb's attention while you're talking to his fiance.
What skill are you, or which action are you using to convince him of this?
To convince his fiance? Or
Oh,
not
sorry, yes,
fiance?
yes. Sorry, yes. His fiance. F-A-U-X.
Fiance, yes.
I love it.
My favorite TV show.
Again, I was thinking consort.
Fantastic.
It's the consort twins. Let's go.
Roll with one additional die due to the assist.
Let's go. A 6.
With a 6, I will say that for the assist that Hazel does not take a stress, as you have made it effortless for them to have to control that scenario. And
had I taken a stress, I do have a skill, so that would have removed that. So that would have been
Wonderful.
So I appreciate you.
You just would have noped it.
Yeah, I would have been like, no, I'm fine. I have foresight.
But for the moment, you have planted a very active seed buzzing around her brain now, which will also mean that when he invites her away, she is going to think it's for a very different reason.
Well, speaking of which, since we're at... Oh, sorry, you have something else, Ezra?
Oh, no, I was going to say, if he doesn't propose, she might cause a scene.
Yeah?
Exactly.
Well, speaking of which, I'm going to help the salon in the best possible way. My plan is to, with my sweet dear Lloyd over here with the mead, is to start plying Caleb. Just to get mead in his hand and to get him just the right amount of liquored up that my words that normally would cause him to raise an eyebrow, the flattery seeps in deeper.
Don't worry, Hazel. His glass has never run empty.
Oh, I make sure of it, and as soon as it's like halfway down, I'm like, oh no, top it off. And I am 100%. I'm not trying to get him sloshed. I am trying to get him lubricated enough so that when I say things like, you know, your father doesn't see the potential in you, and maybe you can use this opportunity to, you know, show him what you're made of, and then the staff will start listening to you because I know what a big boy you are, and I just want him to be more receptive to that.
I come around about every 15, 20-ish minutes and go and do a quick little cheer, and if I have to use a roll, it'd be my command roll to top it off and have him take a little sip.
Oh, darling, I've got this covered. You're just helping me.
Fair.
Hazel, what skill are you applying, Hazel?
You know, as much as I would love to use consort because it is my best skill, I think this is a sway. I think we got to be honest. This is a sway, which is at least 1 dot in sway. Do I get
a second die for Lloyd's assist? Yep.
Yay! Oofta, that is not good. That is a 4, a 1, and a 1.
So, you do have a general success. Lloyd is coming around looking for opportunities to conveniently top off. He's also, you know, working the rest of the area, making sure that it doesn't look like he's favoring you specifically, but keeping in the region. And as that begins to escalate, some of the other people have been a little less constrained. And in their drunkenness, they're drawing a little bit more attention. They're becoming a little louder. And in the guards and sort of regulating bodies at the location have started to take notice. Lloyd, you've recognized one of these guards and quickly realized that they might have recognized you from a previous job that you definitely knocked them out when trying to get someplace you weren't supposed to be. Please tell me about that.
Have fun.
They take a notice of me, like, passing more meat on to...
At least they've noticed that it's you, and they definitely... There's that squinty sort of like, I think you're that guy. They're not certain, but they're pretty certain.
Do they approach me at all, or is it something like they're watching me right now?
Right now, this is just across the room. I want you to tell us a little story, and then we're going to play it out.
All right. It's last time I filled up. What's this gentleman's name again? I'm sorry. What's the kid's name again?
Caleb.
Caleb. I top off Caleb's cup one last time, and that's when I notice that guard Phil has noticed me across.
Oh, God, Phil! I know him well.
He hates Mondays.
He does very much hate Mondays. But I noticed that Phil has a slight dent of recognition.
It's always going to be Guard Phil now. Guard Phil is his
Guard
name.
Phil.
You have to say
Guard
the
Phil.
whole thing.
That's fair. Guard Phil has a very dim recognition of me, and I can tell just by looking at him, he has a quizzical look as he sees me. I tip my hat down and I scurry off, not rushedly, but I make sure that now my back is towards him.
Mm-hmm.
And I go and I'm going to try to find Ammet to see if he can somehow...
I'm sorry. No. I wanted you to tell me about the last encounter you had with her.
Oh, last encounter. Oh, that's easy. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought we were making a plan to avoid him now. No. This is not the first time I've been to Caleb's father's home. And Guard Phil is usually night sentry. And yeah, I did knock him out. I knocked him out good. But he only saw a glimpse of me as I was doing it. Because there was a lovely little ivory sculpture that I saw they brought in, about a month back ago, that I wanted to add to my collection. And I also might have been behind on my trinket tax a little bit too for a current event.
And Jones was on you for that.
Well, his niece was, at least. So it was a bit of a rushed solo job. Poor Guard Phil. Like, he might have been out of a job for like 2 days after I put him to sleep that night. He was on duty.
Oh, yeah, no. The night position is a very cozy one. It's very low yield. You can kind of just sort of like chit-chat because everyone else is sleeping as long as you're not too loud. Now he has to be back and he has to look presentable at all times. It's very stressful. He's in sight as people are coming and going constantly. It's a far higher stress position, and he has been demoted. And you have left an impression. And as you are seeing this, you just see him turn and start moving over to, like, have a little chat with some other people. Are you going to try to mitigate this directly, or are you going to try to blend out of the scene?
Where are we in the time of day right now?
I will say that you are about a third into the planned time of the event. You probably got another couple of hours before it hits the typical time of beast reportings, the earliest that a beast reporting has happened.
So too early for the little skirmish that I planned for the...
You could trigger it early if you would like, but Hazel has an idea, it seems, if you would like to allow it.
I would like to call a flashback.
Oh, at any time you can just say flashback. You don't even need to wait for me to call on you.
So that particular statuette was actually something I had gifted to the estate to get into good graces with Albert as Pearl. And I will say that Guard Phil is not a bad kisser. And I think he definitely would recognize me. I had come in and I'd, been talking him up about how great of a guard he was. And I know Mondays are just terrible, darling. And I had, it resulted in a bit of a make-out session. So, and then I, of course, had left him high and dry because that's the way I like it. I like them, leaving them for more, leaving them wanting more. So I would hope that he would recognize me as he's trying to cross and figure out Lloyd.
I will add a stress unless your ability will mitigate a flashback stress.
No, it will not. My ability only mitigates assist stresses.
Okay. So I will say that this is somebody who you did not enjoy making out with, but you did so for the purpose of making a situation move forward.
I've had bad prefer women, but yes.
So as Guard Phil moves over to one of the other compatriots of his position and starts gesturing in that direction, the two other guards there, you recognize Hazel, as when you had isolated him, you did so while they were sort of jeering a little bit off to the side, so they also recognize you. Mm-hmm, so they, as he's trying to point out Lloyd, they're like, oh yeah, that's the one you were kidding. They completely sideline the concept. And now Guardville is just like, oh, no, that's not what I was, no, guys, stop it. That's not what I was trying to say. I just do this. And he's just now frantically trying to find Lloyd and trying to explain over his friends like, and it's not helpful. So he is blushing.
Look up, you owe me.
He is blushing, he is deflated, and he is completely off balance now. Very well done.
I get back to the bar as Hazel gives me that look. I just pop off the top of a cork of mead and I just give a quick shot and I give a wink and go, thanks.
I will note, as much as that does take care of the problem currently, I am putting a clock on the table. It is a long clock, 12 ticks, but at some point, Guard Phil will regain composure.
Oh, of course. Now... I did not mean... Listen, I know I'm stunning. I'm not a god.
But his friends will keep him occupied for a bit, and that will buy you plenty of time to start moving things into motion before he can start actually convincing anyone that there's a potential problem on board.
Yeah, buy us a little more time.
Oh yeah, tons of time. The 12 ticks is an eternity in this place right now. That is basically until a little after nightfall officially kicks in. So you've got a bit, because they're not going to let this go at all. Oh god. Okay. Shoot. Have we gone through everyone's second action? Have I missed anyone? I have lost track.
I think I have not gone yet.
Ilese and Ammet both need to do theirs.
Got it. Then let's jump to Ilese, and then I know Ammet wanted to go at the end.
I think by this point, Ilese has to go out onto the grounds, but I think what she wants to try and do, she is a hunter for a reason, but she wants to try to throw her shot. She wants to try to throw it in a way that it is in front of another competitor. Basically, her goal is to try to get two competitors thinking that they're trying to throw each other off and start some sort of fight. We've already got a distraction going on inside the house. We need a distraction outside the house.
Fantastic. All right. What are you using? Which action are you using to pull this off?
You know what? I got hunt, and I've got 2 in that, so let's do it.
Go for it.
6.
Fantastic.
3. Hold on, let's see if I get another 6 in here.
Oh, yes.
It happened.
Amazing.
Meanwhile, I'm over here rolling 2 1s.
I'll say that this is going to even add 2 ticks to the clock, so it goes up to a 14 with more time, because as you succeed at this, the uproar that this sets off, these two start going at it, their compatriots from each of their different lodges get involved. There is just now a open, they're not brawling, but they're in that, posing in each other's faces, everyone kind of hyping it up, and the hold me back, kind of fake bravado. None of these people actually want to fight each other in this realistic thing.
No, we don't want to get dirty.
They don't want to look like they gave up first, and there's a big amount of noise for that. So all of the guards have now been called over aside from the ones who are meant, like the ones who are, all the guards operating on the field, the ones who are operating the house itself, they have not moved position, but everyone who's been kind of like wandering and monitoring and making sure that the hunters are behaving themselves, they're all now in like the first 100 yards of the woods trying to find where this noise is coming from.
Oh no, this is terrible. She's just gonna start slinking back to the house.
Nice. Very well done. Ammet.
If possible, I would like to arrange a thing outside the house and do a thing inside the house.
Okay.
Firstly, I would like to arrange for Ezra to either have delivered by Ammet or by another member of the staff a carafe of coffee.
Ezra, roll me any skill that you want to try to facilitate that happening.
Me getting coffee inside.
Yes.
No, to you.
Oh, getting coffee to me?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I actually don't know.
Probably sway or consort are the most likely.
I'll
Unless
take
you want to
consort.
just. Okay. This is a very social phase of the situation. It's fine.
I got a 5. Is my highest.
Fantastic. You have been. You seem to be drawing a little more attention to yourself than you would like, but you've successfully gotten coffee. To you.
Attached to the coffee pot at the handle is a small leather thong with a small pewter pendant with a roughly set opal in the middle.
Tell me what this is, or do I need to know what this is about, or are you still setting up weird trinkets that are going to pay off later?
Smile!
Okay.
Now, Lloyd and I are like, where are our pendants? Excuse.
Okay, second action of yours?
My main action is going to be in the house. And it is going to be casing as much of the floor plan as I can to watch the guards' movements and where they are placed in the 3 hidden rooms that we know exist.
Fantastic. This is going to be a bit more of a difficult action roll, but tell me which action you're relying on, and I don't know if it's going to be risky or desperate at the moment. I think risky is going to be enough.
I have a lot of options that I could go for, but yes. I think for this one we're going to lean on Prowl. Because Ammet is very good at navigating urban environments, especially, and getting in and out of fancy houses is one of their favorite things to do.
I will say that Elise's distraction has automatically given you a +1 die to your rolling. So take a big swing at this. It will be a risky roll, as you are doing a lot of footwork, but this is something you're specialized in, so I will not move it to desperate yet, because nobody's on alert.
That is 4 dice.
Hit it.
2 5s is the top of it, so just a 5.
Okay. Let's see. So. Oh, yes. You are
wow, we love
around.
that! We love it when the GM does that!
You're slinking around effectively. Every human that you pass by, humanoid, you slip into a nook. You cause a slight distraction, minor misdirection, and slip around their peripheral. This is what you do. This is what you have been built for and trained for, and you are excellent at it. You work your way around the entire house. You spend half the time following one pair of guards, literally just hanging back about 4 feet off of them, in their blind spot, and you are collecting information, gathering it all up. Except, at one point you turn a corner, and a chill goes up your spine. You let your eyes scan around you and see nothing of note, but as you are trying to assess the environment, your eyes go out of focus slightly, and you see the shimmer that you recognize as a specter. And as you try to assess if it's simply a loose spirit meandering around, or if it's somehow locked in this domain, if it's trying to get your attention anyway, if it's just sort of like in that fugue state that many ghosts find themselves in, you notice it has a lantern, and it is staring directly at you. And you quickly parse. You have heard of some really wealthy people hiring occultists to create spectral lookouts. They quietly and invisibly march the halls and will raise alarm if they suspect anything out of the ordinary. It doesn't seem to be alarmed by you. But this is going to add a layer of complication potentially for some of the others.
Ammet is going to immediately bow to the ghost and offer 2 silver.
Interesting. Roll me a fortune.
That's a single die, right?
Yes. There is not so there are some pluses and minuses that could occur, but I have nothing to boost you. I don't think you're at a major disadvantage at the moment, but if anyone can think of something that would give an advantage, please voice up now. We've lost 2 cameras.
They said they would be back shortly.
Got it. Thank
I
you.
have 2 dots in finesse.
Ooh, then add an extra die.
Well, because they're inside, right?
Yes.
Emmett's inside, because I guess I don't know if Ezra would have followed, but...
Oh, don't worry. As soon as I get done with this interaction, I'm running to you.
Okay, that is fine.
So that is a 5.
5 will get you a limited partial effect, but pretty good result. Like, it's not raised an alert. In fact, based on the way it sort of acknowledges and accepts the gesture, it gives you sort of a look that makes you think it might be confusing you for another specter. And given the way you have taught yourself to move, that would not be the first time you've had that happen. It's just been a while. It usually takes a certain type of spirit to have that confusion. But it's kind of game recognizes game, and you look very familiar to it.
Perfect. As soon as I can politely disengage, Ammet is going to abandon casing the house and make a beeline for Ezra.
I will say you probably cased about 4/5 of it, so at most maybe one of the 3 rooms and 1 specific hallway. So you know where that room is, and you know that there was no leading into it dramatic things to be concerned with, but you don't exactly know what the entryway or guard situation looks like on the actual surface. But on the rest of the house, you've got a solid map. And I presume you and Ezra want to have a little moment?
Where is Ezra at this moment?
That is up to Ezra.
Am I still drawing attention down in the or?
A lot more people have interacted directly with you than you would probably like. I wouldn't say you're like people are gawking or anything, but like your face is now being like looked at directly by more people than you are used to in your role. Most people avert, but you've interacted directly in a few ways that has caused a little bit more direct notice.
Okay. So I think I would have probably stepped off into a side room and just... people.
There is a drawing room off the foyer that you can easily slip into without any guards being concerned.
Content, and I deal with them all the time.
And it'll be pretty easy for Ammet to identify when they don't see you outside, quickly make an assessment, and find you without a problem.
Mm-hmm. Ammet comes in as silently as usual, and you, as you're standing there trying to gather your wits, you feel a slight tug on your left elbow.
Yeah, because it's funny because Ezra's eye patch is on her left eye, so that she has like a complete blind spot when it's not up. So I sort of jump a little before turning to meet Ammet. Are you okay? Everything going okay?
Someone hired a gravedigger.
Oh, that might be a problem. Just one? Or...
Don't know. Sentry.
Okay.
Keeping watch.
And where in the house would Ammet have seen them? Was it upstairs?
So this actually, aside from the master bedroom, which is the entire second floor, but it's like they have a very large, sprawling first floor. The second floor is maybe about the size of 40 by 40. It's a pretty large room, but it's not the entire floor plan. It's just like a little crown on top with a nice. The roof has basically become a balcony at that point, so it's a lot of lounging space around the room, but it is not. It is isolated, and the second floor is that. But the Spectre was hanging out basically in the main hall where the three halls sort of centrally cross that has the staircase that goes up to the master bedroom.
Okay. As much as I hate to admit it, Lloyd might be able to help. While I can summon them, he's the one who gets them to go away.
Should find your competition.
My competition. If you would allow me, can I use my special ability to have this other... So I summon a ghost to essentially be another scout to tell me what other specters are in the building?
Absolutely. Is there anything special I need to know about how this works?
I can attune to the ghost field and force a nearby ghost to appear and obey a command I give it. And I am not supernaturally terrified by a ghost that I summon or compel, though my allies might be.
Fantastic. So
I would wait for Ammet to leave before I do this.
And I think this is an automatic success. You don't have to roll anything for this, correct?
Correct. So
fantastic.
The eye patch goes up.
Oh. Around the estate, there are many lesser spirits kind of skulking. A lot of them are old field workers who have struggled or died on the job, toiling in the hot sun, overworking themselves. A lot of them fairly old, probably not under this governor's specific watch, but definitely ancestral. And there are 3 intensely vivid specters that you can see clearly through the mask or through the veil, and they seem to be positioned by those rooms, which the fact that one of them is by the master bedroom staircase implies that there might be a different entry to something. You sense that there's something abnormal about the way that they're placed, but they are the closest, and interestingly, they're not bound to another instruction. They have whatever's making them perform this role isn't the same ability that you're using now, and one of them answers your call, coming to you, leaving their post.
Okay, because this is better than what I was originally throwing out there, so I love this. Can I compel them to just give me information, or no?
Absolutely. You can request an action, information. You get one free throw on this, at least. Anything else, there might be a little bit of push, but we'll see where this lands.
Okay. What are you guarding?
Secrets. All secrets.
About who?
About what? Treasure stolen, treasure kept, treasure hidden. Greed. We protect all the greed.
What treasure is it?
Some is property, some is artwork, some is metal, some is bone, some is liquid, some are papers, some are bodies, some are screens.
Okay. Why are you protecting this?
I do not want to be devoured. I have made a deal, and I must not be devoured. It is unpleasant.
That's throwing me for a loop. God damn it.
It's just like, I know what's happening. I know what's fucking happening.
Cool. I don't.
I don't either. I have no idea what Cherny just discovered.
You are
Cece
friends.
has
to my
no
kind.
idea what's going on.
You are a friend to my kind. How are you? What are you here for?
Is there a way I can, like, insight check this fucker?
Can we
Tell me
change
what.
game systems for a second? No, Sarah!
Do an if you want me to suggest, I will say you can do an occult check to see if you can kind of discern what's
Like, are they genuinely curious, or are they trying to, like, get information out of me?
No, I'll say that you can kind of glean that. This, if it was deception, you would be able to tell very quickly. They are not fishing for info. You do not think that whatever has put them in this position has had. They're probably not talking so much as commanding. They're probably not listening. This spirit seems seen for the first time in a way that they're being acknowledged as intelligent and more valuable than just a presence.
Of course. Feeling like I can trust this specter, I'm here to investigate said treasure.
It's all very dirty, but
Most of the stuff in the city is.
I feel like it does well.
Will us getting this treasure help you? Or do you need to protect it with your soul?
I mean, if the right treasure is gone, I might be not. We've been tasked to protect, to watch, not to protect. We don't defend, we just simply alert, but it's hard to know what exactly. We alert on the comings and goings. We alert when the wrong person crosses the wrong gates. At risk of... We've lost 2 already.
Is there any more information about what would devour you if you failed?
Its eyes go wide. What counts as a pupil on the spirit just pinpoints focus, and you feel the shiver that you can't see.
It's like its shiver runs through my body instead.
It's terrified of even considering the concept. There is a deep trauma that has happened after death.
Baby, no. I'm going to adopt this ghost. They are my baby. I have a cozy abode.
Put them
Go
with
play
the
with the ghost
ghost cats. They can take care of. They can cat sit the ghost cats.
There's cats.
I am wearing also, I guess, a demon bane charm. So I sort of lift that up into reference with a quizzical look.
Tell me what the significance should be that I do not remember off the top of my head.
A demon bane charm is an arcane trinket that demons prefer to avoid.
It honestly, it sort of calms a bit, but also, like, it calms an appreciation. But there's also a, like, oh, you poor sweet summer child.
Okay.
Will now protect us. And they don't say that blatantly, but that is generally the vibe you're getting from this.
Okay. Just do remember that I am a friend here. I want to help.
No, you will be welcome. Just know that if you step over, there's a compel that may trigger. I cannot promise I can overwhelm it, but
okay.
I'm very tired.
And you will get rest soon.
And at that, we're going to take a short break. 10-15 minutes so that our players can reacclimate themselves with all this new information. I will be clear. At the next phase, we're going to jump in media res to you all in active pursuit of how you're executing the actual heist. Good job on setting up the flavor and building up your options. I hope you pull this off. See everybody in a moment.
The spirits are my babies.
Actually, I don't even know if Mel's here to hit us to switch us over.
Spirits are my babies.
And I don't have
Portrait
control.
spirits. They do not.
I did not think of. I didn't even consider what the signal would need to be to make this happen. I'm so used to that. It's just being a thing. Ready for break?
It's okay. We are just vibing now.
I need to figure out how to use Caleb. I need to figure out how to use my social engineering.
Hopefully, at any second, we're just going to fade off screen, and this is going to be wonderful. But. And as you are all looking up at the person who just murdered you. Oh, wait, sorry, what?
I come back from the grave and suddenly it's D&D and I roll initiative.
That's
Welcome,
the
it's
next
been a
game
trick
I'm
this
running,
whole time.
right.
We've only been doing D&D this whole time. It's all been a ruse.
I've been here the whole time.
Nothing.
Old man D&D! Sorry.
I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you mesky min-maxers. Mesky min-maxers? Sure.
Mesky min-maskers.
Oh god, no, we're not, no, stop. We're not doing this all day.
Read it in!
Welcome back, everybody. We are full of nonsense.
Tell me your chat
and
is neurospicy without telling me.
There are many conspiracies that were going around in the void between screens, so you all have a lot of stuff buzzing around these people's brains, and they're so close. They almost have a grasp on it, but they're so far away they don't even know. It's amazing. Now, that being said, we've established a lot of leverage points. We've learned a lot of information. Our squad of honey wasps have done a good job of keeping some people distracted, keeping some people plied, collecting some leverages and some floor plan designs and all of these things. Now, it is time for execution. Night has fallen.
I just have one thing.
Go ahead.
I just want to tell everybody the info I got from the Spectre.
Of course, yes. No,
I would like to relay that information, please.
I promise I will take care of this. Hand wave will encompass everything you guys need to be in position. Night has now fallen. The hunt is in full swing. All of the bravado, all of the showcasing, showboating, conflict, betting, gambling, tests of strength and agility, all of that has fallen to the wayside. The hunt is in full swing. Every group of hunters is now jockeying for position in the dark of the woods, trying to find and stop this monstrosity that they've been hearing stories about for their whole lives. Their adrenaline is pumping. Everything is on the line as far as they're concerned. Their pride, their success, the name of their lodge. However, while all this attention is being exerted in that direction, all of the cozy nobles and those who are here for the show have essentially just been lounging, chatting, drinking, smoking, comparing notes, eyeing the different pelts that they might want for themselves based on the quality that they can tell from here. Oh, I love the color of that fox pelt. The pattern's just a little bit abnormal. I'd love to have a shawl showcased with that. It's just the most insufferable behavior that you've ever seen. Our crew has found their way inside, and they're now peppering their way around the space, trying to gain the leverage they need. They took some time in the foyer to compare notes, share information, share liabilities that they've identified as potential problems to make sure that there's coverage, blind spots, that Guardfill will at least...
He knows you!
that should he get too close, there'll be a nice plate of lasagna ready for his distraction.
You've set a trap! He'll come to kick.
I'm sorry, it's not my internet this time, it's me!
Now, that being said, you are all inside the house. You have a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more time. Most of the guards have been moved to, or most of the outside guards have been moved to the actual forest side. You have the two spotters on the roof that you know exist. There's a sort of communication between them. There's some house guards who are the more heavy armored ones who have been positioned at certain entrances and stuff, but you have mostly all found ways to blend in or justify your presence as part of the help, or a noble who has looking for a laboratory. Whatever you need to do to wedge your way inside of the shell of this building.
Are we on the foray then, exchanging information right now? Is that where?
If you want to exchange special information that hasn't already been stated in front of your characters, by all means. If there's any strategizing, now is the time.
I would say that this was in the void in between screens, but I think that the one thing that didn't take place on screen is Hazel would gather them and go, "There's no way Albert isn't here. Oh, a greedy Cerberus does not leave the maw of the underworld. Though, honestly, that's an insult to Cerberus, who is magnificent, and Albert is anything but you get what I mean. And he has 3 heads, apparently, according to our dear Ezra. So...
I do feel like he would not leave this treasure.
No. That man keeps so many people around him and trusts none of them. I would be very careful. That being said, is there anything I can do with these guards? Perhaps I can... A little flattery and, oh, they don't pay you enough, let me give you treats, and money never hurt.
I would like each of you to roll me... Sorry, say it again.
I'm going to need to leave my spirit bane behind, aren't I? This time.
Yep. You sure are.
How well... Because they see me as friendly.
1d6.
Everyone? Okay.
Everyone roll me 1d6. This is going to be how many of you pass versus fail. This is a group fortune roll.
Oh, God.
5? I'm guessing that's a 6, that's a 6, that's a 5. That's a lot of success. Wonderful.
What did we? Good Lord!
Just, it's good, Hazel.
I will say that with a quick, as you guys were convening, you also try to assess some of the major players. You have seen Albert working his way towards the change house, which is in the back of the estate where all of this has been happening on the front. He is now kind of like, he cut through the house, but he's clearly like going towards this area. And he is being a little, I guess surreptitious might be the right word.
Shady?
Minimum. Yes. Caleb has also made his way indoors ahead of you all, but it is not apparent where he has ended up. In fact, you are all vaguely surprised at how he was able to disappear so quickly, since one of you was shadowing him. It doesn't even matter which one. As he turned a corner, you gave him a little bit of time so you weren't right on top of him, and as you came around, he shouldn't have been gone, but he was gone. Aside from that, the other major player that has been operating heavily, but none of you have really interacted with, the Beastmaster, who's been sort of like maintaining the hunt beasts, taking care of the pelts. At some point, she handed off those duties to a few of her direct subordinates, and has not been seen for a bit. So
she's going to be a liability. That woman is fearless. She's truly the one who's in charge here.
Coming from the one who lost the sun.
How about you? Speak when you're spoken to, Lloyd.
You gonna let her talk to you that way, Lloyd?
Look, I was handling the alcohol. I was tipping off his drink just like you wanted me to.
You have a god who knows who you are.
We don't know if he knows who I am.
With your accusations.
He just might know the feeling of my fist in the back of his head, okay?
Focus on the task at hand. We don't know where Rita is, we don't know where Caleb is, and we don't know where Albert is, and that's a problem.
And there's ghosties everywhere.
They're all ghosts, and honestly, I feel more comfortable about the ghosts. No offense, Ezra.
No, they are very kind. Scared, terrified, but...
You said they were scared of being devoured.
Correct.
What would devour them?
I guess the only thing that could cross my mind is a demon or something I guess I'm not aware of, but...
Ilese, you're a hunter. You know Rita's field more than most. Do you think you could handle her if you crossed paths?
We can certainly try.
Ilese, roll me a d6 for the purpose of how accurate your knowledge of this person is.
Can I assist in some way because I know things?
I will say that yes, if you want to roll a d6 first, we're gonna
Sure.
add, or we're gonna do with the plus minus on this. We're
Okay.
gonna add both. This is not standard rules,
No,
but
that's a 5. I'm adding a 5
that's
for
a
you.
5.
So
Elise?
it's gonna be a total amount.
Yes, at a 12 as opposed to we're basically like doubling and then halving.
Oh, good, because I got a 3.
All right, so that's 8, which means 3 out of 5. That's Crystal. 4 out of 5. So 4 out of 6. God damn it. 4 out of 6.
got this.
Total solid success.
Math
You
is
got
hard.
This is why we
But that is a success with a complication. So I will say that you are well aware that Rita's skill is unquestioned, but like on par with your experience. However, there is lore rumors that both Hazel and you have come across that imply something abnormal about her success rate and what she's able to get to, or what she's able to find based on the evidence that a hunter usually relies on. So there's something overblown in the stories, and it's hard to tell if that is just embellishment or if there's something extra happening here that you can't put your finger on.
I mean, you know how we work, dearies. We always have somebody behind the scenes, insider information. I wouldn't be surprised if she has the same.
Rita would definitely not be working alone, given the success rate that she has. It's inhuman. I know game recognizes game. I know someone who has a network like I do when I see one.
Rita is hungry.
I'm gonna give the group one free assist at some point without stress on risk for quoting back my own nonsense.
You're welcome.
Lore.
You're welcome. I'm sorry, Ammet. What did you say?
Rita is hungry.
What do you mean?
Is there a chance she's more than just a beastmaster here?
Ammet, can you clarify what you mean?
Master of Beast.
I would like to take a chance. I would like Lloyd to take a chance here. Lloyd,
Pause. I'm at where you're done, or
sorry.
I can be, yeah.
Do you
Please
think
finish
that
your
Rita
thought
is
before
the beast then?
Could be, or is close to it. But why is Rita so good at hunting? You practice.
I guess my only question with that is because Albert was affected, as far as we know, by this beast. If Rita was this or had an affiliance with it, why would it turn?
Is there a
Yeah.
way?
sorry. Before we spiral out now, I want Lloyd's insert now before we move out.
Lloyd knows he has to take off his spirit charm, his spirit main charm, and he has arcane implements, which means he has a pouch of like black salt. So he's going to bury the charm in the salt to block out the negative effects. I want to know if this is possible. I do have a dot and a tune. I want to know if I can like do a roll and see if I get what the general feel of like the echoes or the spirits around me since I took that charm off and now I'm vulnerable to it. If it's something that I can detect now, or at least get like a general vibe.
Tell me what you're hoping to find, and make the roll, and I will give you. Yeah, you can definitely try this. This is no backlash.
Okay, so what I'm trying to do is Ezra says that the specters, the one specter that they talk to, is scared. I want to, when I take the spirit charm off, I want to know if like the whole like spirit echoes that are here, if they're all scared of the same devourer, or if it's just targeted to these few specters that are being commanded.
All right, roll it.
I got one dot in a tune, so that means I'm rolling 2. That's a
technically, I
5.
think no. Sorry, I think you're rolling 1 with 1 dot. It is how many dots? If you have no dots, you roll 2 for a disadvantage.
Oh, okay, that works. That's fine.
Yeah.
I thought we
But-
rolled one with the initial.
I rolled
and then-
that wrong then. Oh God.
That's okay. I'm not married to the rules. I'm fine. I'm more narrative than rules based. So like, I will. If things are bets, we're not going to go back. But
That's fair. That's fine. That is still a 5. So I rolled a 5
Perfect.
either time. So
I think I was going to land that either way. Like, I would have taken the higher on that because it was done in good faith. So if you had rolled under 5, I probably still would have given you 5. But I will say that with a 5, you very much feel that only a few of the spirits here have a targeted fear of being devoured. This is interesting. So, you sense with your attunement that a specific threat has been made against certain spirits. It has been an intentional statement, not a sense of random encounter, not a general lore fear. A threat has been made against certain spirits. And in touching that, you are slightly scared of the same. You feel now you have somehow, by touching it, you've tainted yourself to that targeting.
great.
Is there something I can roll? Because I've gathered quite a bit of information on Albert and Caleb being around them.
Mhm.
Rita's more elusive, but I've been trying to track her to the best of my ability. Is there something I can do to gain information about, is she out at night a lot and people don't know where she is? Has she been going to strange places? Have there been claw marks on her? Have there been is there a way to roll to see if I can see if there have been any hints of suspicious things with her?
So we haven't talked a lot about Rita. And you're trying to assess what you know of her and what you could have recently augmented that knowledge with.
Right,
Rita?
in gossip and in my information gathering, because I've definitely had people pose here as servants and hunters before, so they would have brought me back anything that they found out.
So I'm going to start by telling you what I know you would have found out naturally, and then you
Okay.
can roll and see what deeper you can get.
Sure.
So, and actually, Ilese would know a lot of this naturally also, because with Hunter lore, I feel like these stories.
But I knew it first.
No. I use it more often, dearie.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I was actually going
Rita,
to. Yeah, go ahead.
Fitz. No.
I was just going to ask, could I call a flashback? Have I spoken with Rita before?
Oh.
At any point, you can call flashback. If you knew, are you doing the flashback as part of this heist? Did you make an effort to prime this conversation?
This wouldn't be priming as part of the heist. It would just be finding more information about Rita. I'm assuming that maybe at a tavern or at the last game I was at, I've spoken to her before.
So no stress. Yes, absolutely. This would have been an overlap. How long ago do you want this to have occurred?
I want this to have occurred recently because this game has already been announced. And I think she wouldn't have any. Yeah, we know about the beast, but I wouldn't have any idea by that point that she might have been connected. But I could have been having a conversation with her about it, just saying, well, what are your opinions about it? Is there, are you excited about the games? Are you nervous?
Honestly, I'm so tired of these stories of monstrous creatures. We all know about ghosts and demons and stuff, but a monster? Please. How often have you ever come across a legitimate monster when everyone's spinning stories of monsters?
But that's what gets people's attention, my dear. Everyone from all over is coming to see this, be a part of it. You must be excited about that.
I'm excited to share time and space with our fellow. Absolutely. But the idea that we're all chasing this figment of everyone's imagination is insanity. We all know that wolf attacks are fairly normal. Bear attacks, a little less so, but they occur. They explain everything we've come across at maximum, let alone minimum.
Well, I admire your bravery. You don't seem to be fearful about this at all, despite the many deaths.
I mean, honestly, the sad part is I probably won't be on the front lines of these games. I'm going to end up playing keeper of the hunt beasts, the dogs, the hounds, all of that. I'll be dealing with the pelts. Ever since I lost my arm overseas, there's low confidence, despite the fact that I would love to. I still think I have it, to be honest.
You absolutely do.
I think I could excel at this. But we're chasing any random bear, any random thing we can sell as a monster. We're not chasing an actual creature with an actual intention. No one's hunting the people here. That's nonsense.
Well, let me offer this up to you, dearie. If you're wanting to get involved in the games at all, couldn't somebody take over for your position for at least just a little bit?
I mean, don't get me wrong. If it goes on long enough, and if anyone finds anything truly interesting, you're right. I will absolutely... I'll break rank and go. It's who we are. Of course it's who we are.
It is who we are.
But unless that occurs, there's really... It's just... I get paid good money to do the showboating and make sure everything's in order. You know that a hunter's skill doesn't rely on how many limbs they have, but for the people with coin, they are less forgiving of such concepts. Any damage is a inacceptability to them. It's a liability they can't bet on. They're not going to fund that. So it's just, if I could maybe get some clout back because somebody found some mutated bear, great. But like, the odds are insane.
Well, we'll simply put on a show for them, won't we, dearie?
Just remember, if you come across it and you find my signature on it, you make sure to give me credit. I will know if anyone finds... Do you sign your shots?
Of course I do.
What is your signature? Because I typically prefer that little gold foil on my arrow tips. Now, granted, I'm using crossbow these days. It's a little... I can still load with my teeth if I have to, but it is... I can't do the full draw, obviously.
The gold foil? I wish I had come up with that idea first. No, mine is far too simple. Mine is just a quick little scratch.
I mean, it is... I'm not going to lie. It's my ego involved. It's expensive to gold foil your shots, so I'm basically stating that with my 3 gold foil bolts, I will hit with one of them a killing shot. It's a brag. It's been one I haven't been able to test in a while.
Well, I will certainly give you credit should I find something.
I appreciate that. I hope you have good luck out there. And God, I hope you find something more interesting than a fucking dog.
Maybe a bear, who knows, but I'll be sure to put on a show.
Just remember, you have to hit those twice. I know you know. I'm telling you nothing you don't know. It's so rare to come across an actual aggressive bear that if you pin one down, I just don't want you to get hit.
Hitting twice, hitting... We've trained long enough to know.
Next round's on me.
Oh, you're too kind, dearie.
If you want to assess that information, that conversation in reflection, roll me what skill you are interrogating your memory with.
Survey, which would be 2.
Fantastic. Roll it.
That is a 4 and a 5, so 5.
5 is good. So you definitely got the obvious sense of honest lament, honest sadness that there was something they felt like they were missing out of. But you definitely have this itching at the back of your mind that the problem isn't the hunt and them not, there being a fake monster and all this stuff. It's more that, like, they wish this was the fun they could be having. It's clear they're preoccupied with something, and they're trying to keep you away from that. But their want of a true hunt is honest. It's why they overemphasized it that's puzzling you.
I'm going to relay what I know to the group, and I'm going to mention she just seemed so adamant about how ridiculous this whole thing was. So she's certainly hiding something. The question is, what?
So tagging onto that, back to my original thought, with this new information, what can I glean? What can I connect with my little red threads?
Okay, roll me whatever you think is applicable, and I will give you a... hold on.
See, the problem is, the only skill I have more than one dot in is consort, which I just don't think applies here.
We're gonna apply it because you talk to so many people, you collect so much information. We're gonna say that you have multiple perspectives. That's the sales point we're going on.
Thank you.
Roll it, but I'm gonna give you a devil's bargain of if you want the flash of genius that can connect these dots to get, it'll add 1 die to your roll, increasing the odds of success and or critical success. But if it goes wrong, I'm sorry, not if it goes wrong, no matter what, there will be a point where someone in your crew is going to take a little bit closer to death damage than you would like. Is that worth getting closer to the answer to the mastermind? You can feel the answer right there. It's
worth it.
Your tongue.
It's worth it. Sorry, y'all. It's worth it. That's a 6.
Nice.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. Sorry to whoever gets hurt.
Yeah.
It's fine. I got friends on the other side.
So, as you piece all that story together, you connect it to everything else you know. You have that little, like, mind palace.
Well, 100% it's the Sherlock Mind Palace. It's just like things floating in front of my face.
Walking together. But, like, the good one from the early seasons, not the weird one from later seasons.
No, not the weird one. The good one. You all know this look, by the way. Whenever my eyes, like, slightly glaze over, the fingers get templed. You're like, Hazel's in the Mind Palace.
Here we go again.
Who believes in fairy tales more than the person who spins them?
The people who are told it. The children who receive the story.
Don't jump ahead. Literally just what I said is what I said.
Who here believes in fairy tales more?
I don't want to mislead you with my statement. Who believes in a fairy tale more than the person who's telling the story? The person telling the story is the one who most believes in the fairy tale, whether they admit it in the tale or not.
Got it. I misunderstood the question. I understand now.
It wasn't a call and response. It was literally just an A to B call of connection.
Listen, Hazel's a little slow on the draw tonight. I had too much mead.
You're welcome.
It's like Danganronpa, just meat on bone. Wait, no. Just no.
All right.
She knows for a fact that it's true.
There you go.
She knows for a fact there's a monster out there. The question is, what is she doing with it? Especially if it targeted too close to home.
She definitely doesn't want anyone to find it.
Ammet, what do you have in mind?
Ammet is right next to you. As you come out of the Mind Palace.
Did you not do that when I'm figuring things out, please?
Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's not your fault. It's mine. You would go to pat your head that you have horns. Yes, Ammet. What's this?
It holds up a small pewter setting with what, to your eyes, appears to be a cobblestone, worn impossibly smooth.
What the fuck are you up to? Okay.
Cherny is here to wreck your shit. They couldn't have shape water, so this is what they're doing.
There's a long game now, Griffin.
I look at it and I kind of say,
I couldn't have asked for this on purpose. This is amazing.
I look at Ammet and I say, this is charming, but why?
Simple answers hide the best treasures.
Fuck you. It's so good.
Clarify?
You saw that every day.
I did, and of course. still don't know what it means, Ammet, but I will ponder on it. And I'm going to put it in my pocket.
Ammet, when appropriate. So normally you can just say flashback and stop everything and you get a flashback. When you want whatever you're setting up to go off, just say flash. You say flash, we're going to stop the same way, but we're flashing in the moment. It's another flashback. I can't wait to see what you've been setting up, because I have not been tracking it as closely as I should have, and I'm feeling really dumb about that now.
Don't
I will DM it to you, Griffin.
Nope, I want no notes.
Okay. All right.
So I look, I think I look at the group and I say, okay, so what do we have so far? We have that Rita is 99.9% sure, knows the beast is real and could potentially be in control of it. Unless, is lycanthropy a thing? Could she be the beast?
It's not really a thing in this world.
Not a thing? That's a fairy tale that I will.
Ezra.
Question. I can use my special ability more than once?
There's no reason that I know of not to.
Okay.
Unless it's got 2 markers. Like my foresight, I can only use twice the score. So it depends on the skill.
That is fair.
I can't find my character sheet.
Nope, no character sheet for you. Yeah,
I will assume you can.
It's in my book. It's in my book. That's fine.
Okay, good.
I love that though, Griff. That was so good. Who believes in the fairy tale more than the person who tells it? That's even though Jocelyn was a dumbass and thought it was a legit question.
No, and I'm sitting here like I thought he was asking who here believes the fairy tales more, and I'm just I rose my hand.
You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
Hazel, we don't need to go into the Mind Palace more than we need to. Come back.
Hey, no! You're too deep in the Mind Palace. Come back out.
I will note, if this was D&D, those sort of assumptions make more sense. Because it's Blaze in the Dark, there is a slightly different interaction where but I see how that got misinterpreted, for sure.
It was just that my brain put the emphasis on the wrong syllable, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Yes.
I
Ezra.
don't see why I wouldn't be able to use it more than
Yeah.
once.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Do it.
Because now part of me wants to go outside and see if I can summon some sort of animal spirit.
Go on.
I love that.
Who would know more about the Beastmaster than the beast that she raised themselves?
Is there... Okay. Why are you changing location? Let me start with that question.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know if... Okay, so because we're...
We are in the house, yes.
I just didn't know if there was...
Are there any animal spirits in the house?
The pet cat.
So you can call to spirits from a certain range.
Okay.
Is there... How hard is the limit on that?
I forgot about that. What?
Does the description give you a range limit? Obviously.
It just says a nearby ghost.
Yeah, that's fine. So, tell me where you are. Are you still with your friends?
Is Lloyd's amulet still off?
Lloyd's amulet is buried under some black salt, so it won't leak out.
Squashed.
Yeah. I will still use compel, but I'm not gonna make it visible to everyone else. I guess similar to
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say similar to Hazel in a sense. Like the eye patch sort of like flips up a bit, and she again, like her one black eye, I guess I didn't mention that, her one entirely black eye glows faintly.
All right, roll me one fortune die.
Okay.
So you don't give her problems when she's in her mind palace.
Because I'm talking to other people.
I'm the most important person I could talk to.
I didn't have you roll a die. I gave you free information. I'm having her roll a die because I want this to be...
No, I was telling the characters. I was telling the characters.
Not
you.
It's because it's you, dearie.
No, that was Hazel telling the group, because I think they give Hazel crap for going into her mind palace.
Yeah, but
Dear viewers, sometimes there's miscommunications on who's talking to who and why.
Yay
And
for the 6.
6.
6,
All right.
6, 6.
Yeah.
So you reach out. You tell me exactly what you're calling.
Well, because Rita,
Animal, obviously.
I'm trying to summon one of the past dogs that was used in hunts previously.
Pepper.
Oh, okay. So not anything. You're not calling for anything specific. You're calling for a dog used in a hunt.
A recent hunt, if the
Cool.
dog did not make it.
All right.
Sorry, puppers.
Aw.
After there's a longer pause than normal. Like you're used to a little bit more of an abrupt like appearance, call and response. It is very quick. Instead, you're sitting there for a minute and you're like, did this not work? And then as you're about to just like, you start to sigh with sort of like, what the fuck? And through the wall comes this little puppy of a wolfhound.
Aw.
It trots over. It's kind of like, hi.
Hi there. I forgot Ezra's accent. Shit.
No accent, only pupper.
Only
Just
pupper.
Only ghost puppy.
I guess I'll kneel down to its level.
Oh,
I love the fact that we have no idea.
Why
what's
is she kneeling?
Just give me kneel down and
Ezra.
like
Are you praying?
my hands.
Let it happen. Just let it happen.
Okay, I'm letting it happen. I'm letting it happen.
Ezra.
Yeah.
Did you call?
Yes, I did.
Am I in trouble?
No. Absolutely not.
Do you want me to bite someone?
No.
Little tail just wags a little bit and then stops.
This Cece is struggling right now. What can you tell me about the last hunt you went on?
They were not as fast as they thought they were. I was very fast. I was so fast.
Yeah.
I caught the first one so fast. But I played too hard. So the other one was very far away. But then when I was done playing and I was reminded of the point, I was very fast again, and I caught the second one. And I shook it so hard, and then I played with it a little bit, but the third one got away, and I was still rewarded, but I was sad, because I knew they were disappointed in me.
You did your best. You still did very good.
Tail's just gone. Little bit of like shift.
What can you tell me about Rita and this hunt?
Rita is very specific. And the hunt, I don't know about this hunt. This hunt is confusing. They're hunting so many other little dogs, so many other little foxes, so many other little wolves and critters, and I saw somebody carrying a possum. Those aren't my friends, but they could have been my friends.
In regards to Rita, how did she smell? What did she smell like?
It's heavy. The ears drop, the tail drops. A little bit of a hunch in the shoulders. The smell is very focused. Her attention demands our attention. You're people, yeah? You look like people.
Yes.
You smell like people. So, our attention is your attention. You look at a thing, we look at the thing. You look at us, we look at us. We share your attention. That's what we're trained to do. That's what we're born to do. Her attention is so far away. But she so wants us to be on that. I can't see that far.
Other than the small things, do you know what else you were hunting, or the other beast she was using to hunt?
I mean, they're all small things when she commands it. When she sets us out, everything is smaller. The mice, the fox kids, the people, they're all smaller.
I feel like there's an obvious question I should be asking.
Nope.
But my brain. Okay.
But there is an obvious clue on the table.
The people. What? Because you just said people?
Sometimes her attention's on people, and we hunt people. We hunt whatever her attention's on.
Which people?
Whoever she points at.
Okay. Thank you so much.
The tail starts going again.
I'm keeping this dog.
We've got to make sure that the ghost cats get along with him.
It's a puppy, he's fine.
I feel like every single heist, we always end up adopting some sort of ghost or another.
Ezra, are you quite all right? Are you communing?
Yes, apparently Rita hunted people, but also so many small things. Whatever beast she had hunting would just go after what she was looking at. So, I'm a little bit confused, but...
We should keep that in mind as we go forward.
Who in your group, Elise, roll me just roll me 1d6. It's not quite a fortune check, but it's something close to, like, understanding the concept, given that you have hunter background.
We got another 5.
Perfect.
Damn.
So you are well aware that hunting dogs, specifically, they've been bred to follow the attention of their owner. Where their owner's attention is where their attention's trained to be. So they're constantly checking their owner's attention and following that line and executing based on that logic. If their attention is on them, that is just a reward. Everything else is target. And for all the people who aren't anthropologically or sociologically trained, this is how actual dogs work nowadays. And that's why they're really obnoxious, and every time you look at them, they run over thinking it's a treat.
Right? So...
Your attention's on me!
You tell them a cat person?
I like both.
I mean, Rita is trying to keep this front that she isn't doing anything, but she is certainly doing something.
Got an entire pack of dogs that will do whatever she sets her attention to.
Anyone, human, animal.
So,
I mean, nobody knows what this beast looks like.
Could be her, in a way. Right. We need to focus on the task at hand. Lloyd, are you quite all right? You look pale.
I really want to put my charm back on, but I can't. But I want to. But
You
I
can.
I guess a question because of the Spirit Bane charm. If you went to where the spirit guards were, would that cause them to avoid it? Avoid you?
My understanding of my charm is that they will just leave me alone. Outside of that, I don't know much more. Because they leave me alone.
Lloyd, we want them to leave you alone.
That's fair.
Not a guard.
No?
Snitch.
Snitch.
That is
Not a guard,
accurate.
a snitch.
I know there's no real inspiration in this, but take one bonus die at your convenience.
I love Ammet so fucking much. Right. Well, I think we better keep a sharp eye going forward then on this, because who knows what happens when Rita's attention fixes on us.
That's fine and all. That's fine and all. Great. I don't care what the beast is. We're here for a score. So
Right.
where are we going to find this score? We're here
One
for
of
the
the
treasure he's offering.
I was about to say that, like, as you are all having this discussion, at least one of you, and it seems Lloyd's the one,
It's
tunes
Lloyd.
into the fact of, like, eventually Guardfill is going to
Oh God,
reconnect the dots.
Guardfill. I forgot all about him. He's a terrible kisser.
You say that every time.
This is interesting and all, but I took my Spirit Bane charm off, my spirit charm off, so we could find out where the score is. And yet Ezra's kneeling down talking to something that none of us can see. That's not creepy at all, but
I'll make the puppy appear.
You see Hazel for the first time ever. The icy exterior melts.
It is a little corgi style puppy. It is literally just a pointer dog that is meant to, like, hunt pheasant at best.
I won't stay too long on this. I know we need to get to the heist, but I will say you do see Hazel, strict, upright, proper woman, get down and go, "Like a good boy." Anyway,
I
yes,
was getting information.
Lloyd has a good point. We need to
But-
stay focused.
If they were able to use the Spirit Bane where these snitches are, then
That doesn't mean I'm invisible to spirits. Not in the least.
the only issue is that they document or they relay the movement of people to someone who we do not know. I guess that's sort of what I was.
I mean, if we want to try, we can try to trap these specters, or at least the one we're trying to cross their path of. I
Because
do
they're
have the black salt, quicksilver, whatever we need.
Is the puppy still in the room, or have you dismissed it?
I have not dismissed it yet.
As this discussion is going on, you feel the connection click, and it's just like, do you want them gone?
It talks?
He's the
Oh,
best.
you can't hear it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Only Ezra can hear it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't care. I'm busy just going, yes, you are. Yes, you will.
Is that something you are able to do?
Yeah.
She's talking to the dog, guys. She's talking to...
Let it happen,
The
let it happen,
sweet
let it happen, let it happen.
As long as I get the sense that the puppy spirit will be fine after doing this, I would.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, perfect. If you want to do that, that would be so good. I would be so gracious.
I need to find some better people.
Roll me one
Nice.
fortune die, please.
You know damn well
God.
that we're already too good for you, Lloyd.
Please.
Don't lift a dick.
Don't mess
dick
this
out
up.
your mouth.
It's a 4.
4 is still a success.
Okay.
So, as a success, but a complicated success, I will say, the puppy excitedly starts to trot out of the room, and the rest of you can't quite, like, you all are seeing this sort of ethereal thing. Ezra, it's so clear to you. As it's trotting out, you watch as this immense amount of ectoplasm seems to start moving towards the dog as it passes through the wall, and you are uncertain of what just happened there. But about 90 seconds later, it seems as though all of the lookouts have disappeared from your awareness.
Did the best boy just eat some ghosts?
He was hungry. Just as a snack.
Right,
The
shall
snack that haunts back.
we? All right, we're going now.
Corned yeast.
All right, kid, did you say you haste this place before you run into the Spectre?
Most of it.
Did you happen to see where one of these hidden rooms were during this?
Griff, I caught 1 or 2. I got 4/5 of the house.
Solid. And you know where the third one is, but you didn't quite get a sense of what the door was like on that one. The other two, you have a sense of the door solidly, so you know how to get past it, or at least what it will take to get past it.
Okay.
We know that the first spirit that talked to Ezra was guarding, I think you said, a master bedroom, Griffin?
Yes. Or it seemed that way, but there was also the implication that maybe there was a false front that hid the third section.
Okay.
Which I have an item that I might be able to use for that. So
Cool.
when we
All
get
right, what are you trying at?
That is the only lead that I can think of. I'd say we'd go that way.
I say we go the way that the kid here ran into the Spectre. It would be the best one to hit first, at least.
Most
works.
traffic, most eyes. Hide in plain sight.
So as you all finally solidify this idea and start moving, somewhere in a room that you have not, like, it's on Ammet, in your walk around, there was a room that was meant more for drawing room's the wrong idea. It's sort of like a smoker's lounge / where they would take brandy. That's sort of like there's an official term for this and I'm fucking blanking, but it's just like a little casual room with some books and some stands and some alcohol and some smoking, and it's fine. But
A den?
from that room, I guess a den, but it is
the lounge.
Yeah, something like that. But it's definitely like a recreational room off to the side. And from that room, as you all start to move, you hear horrified screaming. But that's not where you're trying to go. So you're
Not
welcome to.
a problem.
Hey, there's
Do I know-
distraction?
Do I know whose room that is? Like, is it Albert's? Is it Caleb's? Who most uses that room?
Most likely Albert having like smokes and scotches with like people he thinks he's trying to impress.
Okay.
Oh, I'm familiar with this room.
So you all start moving in a different direction. Because that is not anywhere near the 3 protected, or the 3 rooms that the lookouts were at.
Dare I ask what kind of scream it was?
Oh. The blood-curdling, I am in danger kind. And that it was,
Okay.
they kind of like, cut off abruptly.
Oh, well, I think rest in peace. Shall we move on?
I can talk to them later.
Oh, yes, we got a good one.
Ezra?
Yeah.
Monster?
Maybe.
Monster or knife?
Start with knife.
So, you have 3 shells, left, right, or center. What are you trying at? Center is going to be under the master room.
Let's go left. Unless anyone has any objections.
Nope.
Nope.
Cool. You make your way through. You are surprised, but not surprised after that abrupt bring it! That all the guards seem to be not here. Anyone who should be on lookout is not present. The ghosts that you know have been taken care of have been taken care of.
Who's a good boy?
But you do find yourselves facing what looks like a dead end that you know isn't a dead end. You have enough information to know that that's not how this works.
I would like to see if I can roll 2 again to see. Since my senses have been open without the charm on a bit.
Got it.
He's dealt with things like this before, and if there was a specter here guarding it, he wants to see if he can see, like, I don't know, like a ectoplasmic line or something like that is the trigger for them to go and snitch, is what I'm trying to look for. And if I find it, I want to try to break it with the arcane implements that I have.
Okay, roll for it. While you're rolling, Ammet.
I would like to do something tangential to that and use my infiltrator special ability. You are not affected by quality or tier when you bypass security measures. And using my finesse, I would like to search for a trigger or a pull point for a hidden door.
Fantastic. Lloyd, what did you get?
4.
4. So you identify what the threshold was where the specter would have responded. Ammet, having that pointed out to you, roll me whatever you need to roll to make that happen, but there is a complication on the 4, so we'll see what this lands on.
I have 2 4s.
Yay!
All right. So you are able to navigate it after you have identified it. No alarms are set off.
I'm so sorry. Can I use foresight to assist?
Which of the two are you assisting the identification or the bypassing?
Probably the bypassing. All
right.
I don't know anything about the spiritual world, so I think it's just me going, no, darling, look, no one's going to put a trigger that high up. Go lower.
Ammet, roll one more die and see where it happens.
And I
Hazel,
don't take stress.
Tell me how that works.
So foresight, 2 times per score, you can assist a teammate without pain stress.
Got
it. I have to tell you how I prepared for this, which I think is just, I know this house. Like, yes. I've done my fair share of snooping while I'm here. I get bored with the constant croquet talk. I know that Albert's so lazy that he would not put any lever or trigger higher than waist level.
Is this your second or first use of this? I know you
first, because the last time I didn't use it because I took a stress anyway.
That's what I thought. Okay, cool. Ammet?
I got a 5.
Perfect.
Better.
So that is a slightly better success. You have the path cleared, or the path defined. You work your way in. You see Actually, here's a question. Are you working your way in, or are you opening the way to others? I will let that be your choice. There's no negative consequence. It's just a question of who sees what.
Ammet is probably going to need reminding to open the way behind them.
Okay.
Because if anybody else wants to come in after Ammet, clicked into gear and only opens things as much as they need, which is less than other people.
Lloyd, get the thing.
So you slip in, and before anyone sees anything, you are in, and you see the most exquisite collection of religious art, iconography, sculpture. There are totems, there are relics, it's insane, but everything in here is religiously connotated. And aside from it being religiously connotated, you recognize 3 of these objects as belonging to the deity that everyone has forgotten exists, that you are tied to. Do I have the right character? Please tell me I have the fucking right character.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Uh-huh.
Just wait until Lloyd opens the door. Just wait till Lloyd opens the door.
I waited that so hard, and if it was somebody else outside, I don't see that yet, I would have felt like an asshole.
Cool. Walk out now.
Never mind.
Without making a sound. Ammet steps forward. And in front of these artifacts will pull out of their shirt a small amulet with the same emblem as each of these icons. And out of their pouch pulls a small, carefully hewn, whittled stick of birch and a hammered bar of silver, and holds them out in their palms in front of them, in front of the idols.
Lloyd, you have a thought.
Not a thought, but this is just because Lloyd's a little insensitive. As Ammet was going in, he grabs the door, and right at the end of this little ceremony he's doing, that's when I want Lloyd to open a door and see all the art too, and kind of ruin the moment a little bit.
Ammet. You make this presentation trying to connect to the remnants of the faith that you hold. And as you, in your hands, start to feel the energy connect and pull into you, the sliding crunk behind you distracts you, and Lloyd...
What you doing, kid?
Lloyd said.
Whoa.
And I'm going to give you a clock of 12 seconds. This is such a short clock. Lloyd, I need a very succinct statement of what you say when you blurt that open.
I literally open the door, slide the door open, go, what you doing, kid? Before I see any of the art.
Ammet, I need you to tell me the at least vocal, if not verbal, response that you give when you feel that connection abruptly truncated.
Ammet, barely catches themselves, crushing their hands down on the things in their hand. And it sounds like you have just punched Ammet in the stomach so hard that they would have flown back from you 5 feet.
Ezra? Roll me 1 die, please.
Oh no. That is a 2.
You act like this is a very 1, 2, 3, very quick succession of moments. But at the end of that succession of moments, you feel a little weight in your stomach as the whole building, to you and only you, rumbles just a little bit. And you and only you hear a low howl.
Oh no.
What?
Oh.
What is happening?
I'm not even paying it. Lloyd's not even paying attention.
I'm not in the room. I'm not in the room yet. It's just you and Ammet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm basically like, Ezra, what is it? Because I heard you say, oh.
Somehow Ezra just got even more pale. He's whiter than a sheet of paper right now. Did any of you just feel that? I heard a howl. I felt a house shake.
I peek my head into the room. Are you two all right in there?
I am literally just oblivious to what's going on and looking at the art that has now caught my eye.
Lloyd, give me a bag.
What?
Elise?
Give me a bag.
Take it.
Oh, yes. Elise?
Keep going on that.
2.
Elisa's going to run into the room and kneel towards Ammet and just be like, "Are you okay?
Yes, give me a bag.
We don't have time for a bag. We have to go, please."
Ammet is going to start gathering up part of the vest and take the 3 idols and grab something else, anything else.
And
When you scoop up the idols, you feel a warmth pass through you that no one else feels.
What is this it? Or do we need to go? What is happening?
Do you know what this is? This is 2nd century art. Religious art that's forgotten.
I run in, I grab Lloyd's shoulder, and I go, "These are all forgeries. Let's go!" And I'm gonna
grab her Elise's arm and gets out of there too.
Yeah, no, I'm grabbing Lloyd. I'm pulling you out. I don't care what it takes.
Is everyone in the hallway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is
Assuming
anyone
that's
doing
an
anything?
option.
Is anyone doing anything other than getting in the hallway?
No. I'm literally being dragged. So
I'm going to flip my eye patch up.
Thank you.
There it is! There it is!
Tell me what your eye patch lift does. It gives you full sight, correct? Or the spectral realm.
I think that's what we agreed on. I can just get the... Because, I'm not using compel, but the eye is still starting to glow. I don't like that.
Getting serious.
I don't like getting that finger.
I don't like this at all. I'm so glad I pulled out Lloyd. I think we almost had a cask of Amontillado situation.
You flip the eye up, or the patch up. You look around. You see through the walls, through the space, in the realm beyond realms. As your friends are clinging to objects, pulling each other out, and worried about barriers that no longer matter. The shape of a familiar puppy moving in your direction, a humanoid figure standing beside them as other ectoplasmic and spectral energy starts clinging to that puppy's form. It grows in size. And as it passes through the wall, separating it from you all, a monstrous creature about twice the size of anything you've ever seen, twice the size of a black bear, is now hovering over your entire party, growling, with eyes apologetic, but teeth frothing.
Well, we found him.
Is this...
Only you can see this. No one. Yeah, only Ezra has this vision.
Are we all right? Do we really need to stare at art that's clearly a forgery? This clearly isn't the right room. Let's keep
guys,
moving.
how do you say, shit's fucked.
I'm sorry. Do you want to rephrase that? We just went into the wrong room. We're just going to go into another room.
It's like,
this is classic.
Ezra,
what are you doing?
Ezra is like actively sort of like, she never appears nervous. But, like, there's that slight tremble in her hands as she's trying to... Like, she's looking up at this thing.
Crossroads danger.
What?
Crossroads danger.
Ezra, what is it?
We have to go?
This isn't the puppy, is it?
From further down the hall, the rest of you who aren't Ezra hear, No! They came in the house! I know they came in the house. Stop dating me about making out with that other person. I'm talking to the guy who knocked me out. This is a big fucking problem. And you hear footsteps running down the hall towards you all.
All right, we're going.
As Guard Phil cuts off your retreat because he's in the hall that you would have to pass through, and Ezra is trying to, find words to express what is being seen. Two of the guards behind Guard Phil suddenly are severed from the waist up. Their upper torsos vanish to your sight, except Ezra, who sees The ghost dog chomp, pull, swallow.
Run!
Well,
Who's
that's
a good
not something
boy?
you say every day.
Run! I'm gonna
Wait,
grab the nearest person and run.
Hazel, or at least is gonna stop. Hazel, good boy. That was the good boy?
What? That's the puppy. What?
Yeah.
Run!
Lloyd
Monster
produces.
turns back to look
Elise?
at me. I just want to reach my hand out to it, like sort of offering.
You do that, and it just sort of like the tail goes for a second, and it just sort of like the tongue comes out, touches your hand, and goes back to everyone else.
Ezra?
Elise, as all this is distracting, disturbing, and throwing you off, you hear in the distance, just fucking kill them all. I want to go to bed. And you recognize the voice as Rita.
Let's see. Lloyd's fine hand weapon, which is literally a silvery brass pair of knuckles, goes on, and he pulls out one of his blades and gets ready to just attack anybody that's coming towards him.
On the
Ammet?
handle of the blade is wrapped a leather thong with a rough pewter setting and a somewhat familiar, if slightly jagged, piece of antler.
Ooh.
Ezra, roll me a fortune die.
Are we running? Are we staying? What is happening?
Well, figuring it out.
We'll see.
I don't like not knowing what's happening. Knowing
You
what's happening is
all-
my entire gig.
To be clear, you are all in a dead end. There's a treasure room on one side and a bunch of guards, a hunter, a hunt lead, and a ghost dog on the other side, and you have bottleneck in between.
I understand now. Thank you. Now I understand. Fuck me. All right. I'm
Ezra.
useless in this situation.
Four. So, in the millisecond of time that you have to yourself, acknowledging puppy and getting confirmation of puppy,
Yes.
there is a sad eye response of, you recognize it as sorrow, but you hear in your head, I hope you don't like your friends so much. I can probably spare you, though.
Without even turning my head, I just shout, "Run!"
There's nowhere to run to.
No, there's nowhere to go. We're literally
Can
caught
I
between
try
Ammet?
to compel puppy?
Point of
in?
order.
Yeah, thank you. Ammet, you're on my radar. Go ahead.
We got an actual blueprint of the house from
Layla.
Finders Keepers.
Yes.
Old Man Joe.
And I
Old Man Joe.
was able to case the majority of the house. I was able to case 80% of the house. What of the house does not match from the released blueprints that would lead to a hidden exit? Because any house at this level of nobility is going to have a way to get the family out in case of a coup.
Good call. And you are aware of an underground network of movement that is shielded from spiritual energy. That was something that you were told of, but there was no confirmation of. However, the warmth that you got from collecting the totems of your lost god, that sense of acknowledgement and recognition, as you seek this information in your head, you also sense the gap in the walls.
Find a
Anthill,
gap?
this way.
Follow him. We're gonna take off after you, buddy. You're our guiding light.
I take up the rear of whatever the lineup is.
Ezra?
I'm forcing myself behind Lloyd.
I was about to say, continue.
Because the thing is I have two ideas in my head. Because there is either trying to compel Puppy again, or I do have, I know Ammet just sort of found a way out, but I do also have a ghost key. An arcane device that can open ghost doors. There's an echo of the entire city across the ages trapped in the ghost field. Sometimes a door that to that place can be found. And I don't know if that specifies like sending us into a ghost plane or finding a hidden door. So
what are you trying to, what is the end goal you would prefer?
My friend's getting out alive.
Cool. Ilese, you're the only one who truly recognizes the voice that called out. Everyone else is a little bit overwhelmed with ghosts and demons and half-desiccated torsos.
Yikes.
Roll me a fortune die.
Flash. Several years ago,
Oh boy.
a young, horned child sits among a crowd of children, watching a gaudy, if under-talented, magician in the street. Fascinated, completely awestruck by the way that birds can appear from nowhere. Many years later, Ammet discovers some of the things that appear in the museum. A particular arrangement of well-preserved amber. One piece holding an ancient feather. On the back of the pewter pendant Ilese holds, in very halting handwriting, it reads, "Fly."
Ilese?
I am going to use focused. You may expend your special armor to resist a consequence of surprise or mental harm, fear, confusion, losing track of something. So we're gonna get out of this confusion. We're gonna take out that pendant. And I'm going to find Rada.
You pull the pendant out. You feel this connection to this energy. You don't quite understand what you're latching onto, but in the panic of the moment, tension of the moment, the brutality of the moment, I need you to roll me one more fortune die to see if you have the presence of mind to pull your compatriots with you.
Six.
Nice.
All of you in a flash are on the roof, not the roof of the actual bedroom, the roof that surrounds the bedroom, the actual deck. And on that plane, you see a one-armed huntress wearing the skull of a beast, holding out one hand with a totem wrapped around the wrist, chanting, suddenly, jarringly interrupted in the process at your appearance. Hazel.
I have a pistol, and I would like to shoot her hand. I hate getting my hands dirty. You see that I pull out my pistol, and I say, "You've left me no choice. And I don't like doing this myself." Bang!
And so I pull out my gun.
So I pull out my gun!
And I take risk control, but...
Alright, what am I doing?
God damn it. What skill are you applying here?
I mean, honestly, the only things that I think command. I am telling this bitch, like, no, absolutely not.
All right.
Did you just power word kill? Is that what's happening out here?
Power word stun. I'm aiming for her hand. You've already got one arm missing. Do you really want to lose the other?
Because of the fact that you're choosing command, I'm not going to penalize you. Had you picked basically anything else, I was going to be like, you talked a lot before shooting. But if command is your choice, you've succeeded at convincing me not to penalize you.
Listen,
roll for it.
Griffin, that's just Jocelyn not shutting the fuck up. Don't call me out so hard. Oh, well, serves me right. That's a 1. Is there anything I can do in this situation? I think I'm going to push myself.
You can choose to resist. If you choose to resist, what happens is you take a full stress load, but you have 1 roll against that stress load.
I see Ammet with the finger. Yes.
Flash.
Go ahead.
Day after day, week after week, month after month, season after season. A disheveled, bundled child. Not a child. You know better. Sits on the steps of the Akros Museum. A small hat out in front of what hardly looks more like a bundle of rags than a person. You toss a coin here and there. You know who this is. But you toss a coin more to encourage others to than anything else. Those steps are granite, hardly showing any age. In the eons, they seem to have been there. But you know that somehow, somewhere, a piece got chipped away by so much fortitude. And on the back of your pendant, it says, "Hold fast."
I think I'm about to wildly take a shot out of pure desperation, which is something that I don't get my hands dirty. I don't do this. I get people to do the work for me. And I think that seeing that pendant, I am going to try to resist because I need to land this shot. And if it means I have to sacrifice my own mental well-being for once, for people who I joke that I would never do anything for.
You get the shot off. You hit your target true. That energy focuses your action, but it also causes a simultaneous backfire. Your hand takes significant damage. You will not be using it again for anything casually or daintily. You will be tucking that into a nice private spot in most of your social interactions, trying to avoid drawing attention to it for quite some time, if ever again. But that shot hits the one good arm of the one entity controlling this beast and does them significant harm, hitting an artery. The blood starts spurting.
Drop it!
And in their attempt, they have their outreach, and the bullet clips. And they have to tuck, completely distracting from any action. They don't have a second hand to put pressure, so they just have to hold as tight as they can, trying to cease the bleeding as they drop low and tuck their whole body up to kind of build pressure of any kind. The two of you are mirrors of each other, with them tucking their arm and you cradling your hand. But the dog, everything that is around it, the piles and piles of ectoplasm, the spectral energy, the chunks of other creatures that have been slapped upon it to give it extra weight, heft, teeth, claw, all fall off. And the little puppy just sort of looks around confused, apologetic, the tail tucked, the body language sad as it looks at Ezra.
Lloyd, grab her.
Before those words are uttered after the shot, Lloyd does not hesitate and goes in and is going to try to wreck her after she takes the shot.
Hold that thought. The puppy looks at Ezra as you stepping you towards. Ezra? Oh,
You are muted, my
Muted.
dear.
I know. Because I am wondering if this is possible, if you would allow it. Because if I try to compel the puppy, I want to do it in a obligatory is the wrong word for it. But
a suggestion rather than a force.
yes.
Got it.
Because I understand that the puppy was not in control in that situation, so I'm giving it the option. And I ask him if he wants to play fetch. And I look at Reka, whatever the fuck her name was. Reka.
Reta.
Reta.
Close enough.
The puppy's tail clips back up and wags. There's no verbal response, but there is an excitement in the idea of playing fetch. That is something that it would much rather do than all of this.
However, I am holding tension while looking at Rita.
Do you want to hold and let Lloyd execute before you finish your thought?
Should I? This part of me just wants to let this dog go ham, but
Have Lloyd hold her in place.
Lloyd, continue.
I know. Sit, state, wait.
I'm going to flavor this real quick before Lloyd jumps in. I'm going to run to, Elise's going to run to Hazel, and despite the pristine costume, this is a newly pressed suit, she's going to rip off a piece of fabric and just start bundling that hand. While in the process, she is going to shout, Lloyd, do something.
Nice. Before Lloyd moves, I see Ammet thinking, Ammet, do you have an interruption or is this a follow-up?
I have both.
Okay. Give me the interruption, hold the follow-up until we see what Lloyd's response to the interruption is.
Okay, so Flash.
So, Flash.
Okay, Flash would have overridden anything I just said, so Flash
Yes.
will always override whatever you want to
Foot beats down an alleyway, panting, burning in the lungs, running for your life. There's more behind, always more behind. You hear the whistles, you hear the calls. You know that there's more. And around the corner, there's two in front of you. Blue coats, surrounded, trapped. No front, no back, no side. Only a blade. Friend's blade. Lloyd said safe. Polished antler handle and a short hunting knife held up against a billy club, and it shatters. Pieces cut the hand. Out. Escape. Too small. Up. Up the pipe. Up the drain spout. Fast. Smoke. Run. Across the rooftops. You know that antler piece. You gave Ammet that knife. A knife that couldn't protect them. On the back of your pendant, it says, armor.
Cherny, with all the love in my heart, get fucked.
Cherny, why aren't you DMing?
Oh, they are! Oh, they are!
I am
as a
not
follow-up
fit for this role.
Shut up! You're great! You're wonderful!
As a follow-up, Ammet is slingshotting with Lloyd.
Nice.
And when Lloyd is able to either push back or down Rita, Ammet is going to go for the skull.
That works because I was aiming for the legs. I just don't know what I can do with the armor thing.
You can break or you can build. I'll allow either way.
Break or what? I didn't hear the second one.
Or
Break
build.
or build. You can add armor or you can remove armor. You tell me how you want to apply this.
Oh! Then we're going to remove armor. And as I'm coming down with my brass knuckles, and this is now going to be, it was going to be a rec roll, but now I'm going to do a skirmish roll for this. And that's more because I'm trying to be more precise now instead of just offing them. That's why I'm doing, because the reckoning was like, I'm going to full on kill. But now with skirmish, I'm like, I'm now going to full on just disable them from getting away. So coming straight down and like chipping off the skull of the beast too, as my removing armor, as I aim for the legs and try to just knock him down.
Roll it.
Sweet.
Gotta make a good chew toy for Pepper.
Exactly. That is a 5.
Solid. You make your move. You hit your mark.
Next.
As you make connection, you get the effect you want. The person crumples more to the ground than they already were. There's panic setting in. But, because it's a complicated success, as you land, with all of what's been going on, your foot plants on a shard of broken metal.
Okay.
And you take a slight wound, small wound, tiny wound, but it's a wound. And
It is a wound.
there is a risk of bleed out, but it is minor at the moment.
Don't feel too bad, Lloyd!
Elise,
Don't forget your tetanus shot.
Yeah.
Hi.
you have your hunter's instinct. All of this impulsive energy has been happening around you. These actions on actions, flinches on flinches, and you have just been assessing, watching, calm, focused, waiting for the right movement, the right moment, the right time. What do you want to see? What are you watching for?
I'm watching for anything else that might be appearing. Rada is only one obstacle. Is there any other obstacle coming?
Roll me 1d6. It's essentially a fortune roll, but it's essentially, for my purposes, you're trying to think around the corner.
I do have survey for 2 dice. Can I fight for that?
Take it. Yep.
I would like to assist because she's right here next to me. Use my foresight.
Cool.
For the second time.
So go for 3?
Yep.
Yep, that's my second and last foresight of the score. I figure now's the time to use it.
Oh yeah, we're wrapping up.
I got a 1, I got a 2, and I got a 6.
Nice.
Nice.
So, as you are watching all this go down, all of your teammates are very focused on the problem at hand for obvious reasons. There's some panic, there's some tension, there's the puppy, there's the hunter. All of this is in phase. All of the movements have been so fast, but your hunter's heart, your hunter's training has you calm. You're waiting, you're watching, you know all this is moving. And as all this starts to resolve, you realize there's one problem that has fallen off of focus for everyone else. And you realize you hear the slight steps of guards, hunters, and everyone else whose attention has now come towards your location. In that moment, while everyone else is focused on the conflict, it's easy to assume that a hunter would also keep focused on the conflict, but there's also needing to rouse anything around you. If you're trying to get a fox in a pheasant patch, you need to rouse the pheasants to make the fox move and reveal itself. This is similar to that, and you feel it in your heart. All of this attention is moving towards you, and you need it to not. What do you do to make all of this attention go elsewhere?
I am going to stand up from Hazel. I am going to turn and look out. I'm trying to find a tree or a campfire from the festival or something.
To what goal?
I want to cause a distraction and get them going the opposite direction.
You see Lloyd's meat stand. Very clearly, very openly, and Ammet has a flash.
I don't have a flash. Out of character, I have an idea.
Take it.
Yeah, the only flash left is Ezra.
To hand to Ilese, there's also the flares on the edge of the forest.
There are the flares!
Someone gets hurt.
You mentioned that Retta has a crossbow usually, no, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to... Lloyd, you might need to assist me on this, but I need Lloyd to toss me a crossbow. I want to grab one of those flares and get it towards the meat stand.
I'm technically free, too, so I would be available to do that as well.
Actually,
whoever
can handle it.
Even if you don't hit the meat stand, just a flare in general going upwards.
You get it
so
into the forest. They say someone is hurt, right? It would direct them into the forest.
Yeah, so I'm going to go for that flare.
Awesome. Fire it off. Roll me with one extra die, whatever you're using to use this logic.
Oh, hunt, absolutely.
Hunt.
I figured. I don't want to bottleneck
Just making
you.
sure.
I don't want to one note you.
I know you're the hunter, but still, you don't always have to hunt.
Hello, all purple, all ego.
Saunter. If you want to saunter instead of hunt, I'll allow it.
It's my 5 on saunter. Let me.
I would like to roll 2d6 on sachet, please.
I would like to roll 3d6 on high heel strut.
All right, I got 2 on hunt, so let me go on the first one. That's a 2, so let's hope this next one's a little better.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
That's a 5.
There we go.
Fantastic. So, you fire off. All the attention starts to rally around the landing point of the flare, because the point of the flare is to try to draw everyone in. The assumption is that there's either danger, need for help, or the beast is there. as that occurs, and you all realize that everyone is fleeing the manor to support this outcome, and you all start moving towards other rooms, trying to grab what treasure is available, trying to find out where the actual money is, you have about 20 minutes, plenty of time to sort of run around and solve the problem. In the midst of all this, you kick open one door and hear the squeal of the faux
Once.
as they're in the midst of the embrace of Caleb's best friend.
Who's best friend? I'm sorry, who?
Caleb's best friend.
Francis.
Caleb's
He's
best
way
friend.
hotter. He's way hotter.
Oh yeah.
As that occurs, there's just this panic, and as you continue through and collect things, you kick open a different door and find Caleb with one of the male help, and realize that she has a beard.
Good for him. I have blackmail on both of them now, but good for him.
But you all collect something of value, enough trinkets to pay the trinket tax, and what you think is probably what the fence wanted, and you have filed this under a success. I will note, more than a couple people will remember your faces more than you would like, but otherwise, stunning. And most importantly, every once in a while, the rest of you, Ezra sees this constantly, but every once in a while the rest of you notice that Spirit Cat seems a little bit more playful and chasing something you can't quite see, because there's a puppy dancing around it, taunting, playfully, enjoying itself.
I definitely
I see two hands.
I'll give it to Ammet. Yeah, take it.
Cold. Dark. Far side of town. The seeing eye. Ezra's rival. But we don't know that yet. Pretty smile. Too pretty. Cruel. Wealthy. Lots of gold rings. Lots of clients. Doesn't like me. Ezra knows this shop very well. A longtime rival of yours, and often not quite as good at getting wealthy clientele because you actually know the spirits they seek. But sitting down after the heist, you realize you've seen that opal before, placed into a very gaudy filigree gold pendant. On the back of your very simple hand-carved pewter piece, it reads, Hope.
Ilese?
As everything's winding down and the shop returns to normal, Ezra and Ilese continue on. Of course, there is some stories about what happened at these games. But Ilese is always going to mention Rada. She might embellish the story a little bit, but she's always going to be the antagonist of the story. Because in that flashback, Rada did ask her to give her credit where credit is due.
Ammet. As the weeks and days pass, with all of the other jobs, the outings, most of them pedestrian compared to the few more notable ones like this has been, you become more and more painfully aware that as you move through the world, as you slip and slide in the shadows, every once in a while you feel a light at your back, and when you try to look over your shoulder, you see the barest wisp of a lookout ghost that is still following you, hoping for some sort of answer to their outcome. Flash. Lloyd?
As just days after this heist has happened, Lloyd has noticed that he forgot that he put his Spirit Bane charm in the black salt to hide his power. As he's doing it, as it does though, he starts to get used to a little bit of... He knows he's not nowhere near as tuned as Ezra is. But he starts to get used to the feelings around, especially the town and stuff like that, of the spirits that he is now starting to notice without the protection on him all the time. And he makes damn sure both Hazel and Ezra never, ever find out about this until he tells it. But he lights a little fire and burns a Spirit Bane charm and slowly just lets the energy flow through him and accept the way the spirits and the echoes around him are.
Every once in a while, you feel a sharp pain in your upper right shoulder, and you think of Guard Phil, and you're not sure why.
Oh, yeah.
And we are done for the evening. Should we ever return to these characters, they will carry the weight of these decisions with them into the future.
A needled hand for...
Hey, I
Hazel.
didn't set anything on fire.
No, you're actually pretty solid.
I'm solid. I have a puppy now.
I did.
Does anyone have any final things they would like to plug? Alphabetical order. Ammet?
Well, I probably should. For anybody who doesn't know me, you can find me at Cherny Adventures just about everywhere. I do stream on Twitch at least 3 times a week, usually. I'm also a TTRPG creator, and we do a whole bunch of stuff over in my neck of the woods, including a West Marches open table persistent world game.
Fantastic. I believe Ezra?
Hi. So once again, I'm Cece. You can find me at Cola May on every platform, spelled Kolaamey. I am a TTRPG creator, and I can be found 99% of the time over on the New Age Geeks Twitch channel, where I am both a player and a game runner with a homebrew campaign. So, that is where I am found. Otherwise, Cola May on all platforms.
Hazel?
Hi, again, I'm Jocelyn. You can find me on TikTok and Twitch at The Tipsy Tiger. I am also a TTRPG creator, as well as an OC cosplayer, storyteller, and actor, singer, kind of dancer. I actually will be running a game on Records of the Realms this month. I'll be running a one-shot of Thirsty Sword Lesbians that I'm very excited about on September 18th. I have a great group of folks, so I hope that you come and hang out with us for some royalty shenanigans. And I also will occasionally run Good Society player games on my channel. We just finished up Hot Romithra Summer. Romithra is my homebrew fairy tale world. So yeah, I'm around. I won't go on too long. I know I'm very good at that.
Ilese?
I specialize in original content and original characters and original storytelling. My handle is Sarah in the Wings on Instagram and TikTok. Sarah with an H, preferably. And that's where you can find me the most. Sometimes I pop up in Remithra, sometimes I pop up here. But I just hang out.
And Lloyd?
I'm Apollo Vera. I'm a LEGO streamer here on Twitch and an uncle to anybody who wants one and or needs one. I'm usually here 3 times a week building LEGO sets and things like that. This is my first appearance on Records of Realms. I'm hoping it's not my last. Plus also debating after some time, stuff like that, on even trying to run my own game here if the powers that be let me.
And I have been Griffin_ESS on most social media platforms. I have enjoyed running this little world, and hopefully I can convince someone to let me do a callback to it in the future with the same players. But in the meantime, for Records of the Realm, Vinny and I have been spearheading a Kickstarter campaign for The Party Don't Stop, a one-shot that is set up for use in 4 different systems simultaneously, and we hope that you will show up and give us a little bit of support or interest, but if not, we'll keep trying until we find some traction. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully we gave you a good show, and hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your night. Take care.
You.
Bye.